Isaac Dixon has it teed up and ready to go for Belfry. The Pirates will kick to start this game and start our season. Back deep to receive for Pulaski County, Cade Sullivan and Barrick Williams. An electric atmosphere, nearly every seat filled here tonight in Somerset, Kentucky. And on the kickoff, actually, for Belfry, this is Aiden McCoy, a short kickoff, and one of the up men from the 24-yard line signaling for a fair catch for Pulaski County. That's Harris Denmeyer, and the Pulaski County offense makes its way onto the field. And, partner, we get our first look at Drew Polston. Played in just 6 games last year, got injured in the rivalry game against Southwestern. He missed some time the year before as well. He's finally healthy, went through all the workouts of the offseason. Coach Hines and Pulaski County fans excited to see what he can do now fully healthy.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to see him a couple of times over his career, and the coaches are right about him. He's a great game manager, can read the defense well if they can just keep him healthy.
It's a spread offense with a lot of West Coast concepts for Pulaski County. Out on 1st and 10, this is Polston looking to throw. Pass is complete. Gain of about 6 yards as it's hauled in by Antonio Palmer. So a good completion for Polston to get going here tonight.
You know, Palmer came on late for Polston in this offense last year. He's a good target at 6'3", got some great hands. And that's a good way to shake those jitters off now. You get a quick 6-yard out and you're hurried up to the line.
Keep your eye on Barrick Williams out of the backfield. Caught 86 passes last year. They run play action to him over the middle. Caught for a first down across the 40-yard line. That's Mr. Williams. And the Maroons moved the chains as Zane Hatfield made the stop for the Pirates.
Made you look good there with the catch over the middle, and you got to be careful with those passes with this Belfry defense, but was able to haul it in for the first down. Maroons are rolling.
Now you think of all the great secondary players that Belfry has had over the years, going back to David Jones as Polston on 1st and 10. All kinds of time. Now he steps up to run and takes a shot near midfield after a gain of 8 yards, but we do have some yellow laundry on the field as Dre Young made the stop for the Pirates.
Now that hole did open up pretty quickly there for Polston, so it looks like the official may move this one back. Back on the 35-yard lines where the flag was thrown.
And it is a hold, says our referee, George Renner. Rest of our officiating crew tonight, umpire Darren Smith, line judge Todd Martin, back judge Devin Taylor, and Dwight Scalf rounds out our fine officiating crew here tonight on a beautiful, picturesque evening for high school football in southeastern Kentucky. After the penalty, it's 1st and 27, back where the drive began at the 25-yard line. So Polston and company in a hole here after the penalty. 3-man rush for Belfry. Polston, one fake, now gets it to Williams, and he gets all of the penalty yardage back as he picks up 17 before running into the arms of Alex Long.
Something to watch. Twice now, Polston has kind of shuffled his feet, faked a run almost before he's dumped that over the middle, and twice now the Belfry defense has bid on it, so was able to get a good chunk of yardage.
3 for 3 through the air to start this drive and this season for Polston, and make it 4 for 4 as he has it complete in the flat. That's Braden Gibson, and we have a flag on the opposite side of the field from the line judge, excuse me.
All the way across the field, had nothing to do with the play.
Waiting for the officials to kind of sort it out here.
If it's a formation penalty, I don't have a problem with it. What drives me crazy is when there's a hole 80 yards from the play.
And they are picking up the flag, no penalty, so the completion will stand. Pulaski County 8-2 last year, beat North Laurel in the first round of the playoffs before falling to Southwestern. Of course, they were without their quarterback, Drew Polston, and their creed this year, unfinished. 3rd down at 8. Polston needs a big conversion here. That one short to Williams, and it'll be 4th down. We'll see if the Maroons choose to punt it away. But going back to that slogan, partner, unfinished. What do you think about that for Pulaski County?
You know, I was actually on the call for that Southwestern and Pulaski game, and this Maroons team was in that game in the 3rd quarter, so I can see why they're kind of using that because, they're a couple of plays away, I think, for being in that one in the end game.
Maroons are lined up like they're going to go for it here on their own 44-yard line, and now we get a timeout from the Belfry sideline. Coach Philip Haywood didn't like what he saw formationally from his team.
That's a win. You make them call a timeout there. Still, 10-19 to play here in the first quarter. So a little gamesmanship going on early. You got to expect it between these two coaches.
We've talked about Drew Polsted and how he has battled the injuries the past couple of years, as you see a nice shot of the crowd here tonight in Somerset, Kentucky. But Polston, big shoes to fill. A couple of years ago, he started as a sophomore, succeeded Wiley Kane. Injured his shoulder his sophomore year against Southwestern, and then broke his ankle last year in the middle of the season. Just very frustrated by injuries, but Coach Hines raved about his mental toughness, his confidence. He's been at every workout this summer, and in a system like Pulaski County's that is so quarterback-driven, where you depend on your quarterback to get you in the right play and make the checks at the line of scrimmage, they need him to come up big. And they'd love for him to come up big here on this 4th down and 8. Empty backfield, facing a blitz. Polston incomplete behind Williams, his intended target, and the Maroons turn it over on downs.
Yeah, looking for a little pump fake there. And they give Belfry some really good field position to start this game.
The Pirates looking for their second straight season opening win against Pulaski. Of course, they had that 31-13 victory last season, and also trying to move to 5-0 all-time against Pulaski County. These two storied programs have met just 4 times before tonight, and the Pirates have gotten the better of the Maroons every time so far. Isaac Dixon, number 3, the big runner for Belfry, lining up under center this year, which is a change for him, and straight up the middle. Nothing going there, maybe a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9 for the Pirates. As on the carry that time for Belfry was Neil Copley.
Pulaski doesn't have a lot of film, obviously, on this Belfry team from this season. I know 2 scrimmages that they had, but you know what this team is going to do. They're going to line up, they're going to smack you in the mouth. So Pulaski selling out early there for the run.
Pulaski County, they sold out on that run on that play. They don't expect too many passes from Mr. Dixon.
On 2nd down and 9, Dixon, the keeper, a little stutter step near the line of scrimmage and finds a seam down inside the Pulaski County 20-yard line. It's a gain of 25 yards and a new set of downs for the Pirates as big number 3, Isaac Dixon, showing why Belfry fans were so excited to have him back for one more year.
And that's the thing. If they can't get anything up the middle, they'll go to the outside and just keep pounding that run. A huge home run there to open up the season for them offensively.
1st down and 10, and now Dixon will look toward the Belfry sideline to get a fresh play. It's a Belfry team that doesn't throw it very often at all, and they don't need to. Johnny Hines saying that's what's so unique about Belfry's offense. You know what's coming, and it's still so difficult to stop, and that's a man who's difficult to stop. 19 yards on the touchdown scamper by Isaac Dixon, his first of what will assuredly be many touchdowns this season. 6-0 Pirates.
And that time just running to the right side, had the option, but they basically ran the same play that they just did to the left to the right side, was successful for the touchdown. That's what Belfry football is.
Just so impressive, the lateral quickness from Dixon. He's very patient, waits for the hole to develop. He has a monster offensive line to run behind. And once the blocks formulate, he explodes through the hole as the extra point is up and good by Gideon Ierson. 7-0 Pirates. Belfry looking like they're back in championship form, at least after one drive.
Yeah, didn't get anything up the middle, ran just 2 quick options to the left and to the right, and 3 plays later, you've got a touchdown on the board. But, Pulaski County can't get too disappointed here. Move the ball well until that penalty, so got to have a quick answer against this Belfry team, though.
3-play drive for the Pirates, covers 45 yards and ends with the Isaac Dixon touchdown. Had 25 of them last year, number 6 in the entire Commonwealth of Kentucky. Also turned in nearly 1,700 yards. He was number 1 in the state, John, in yards per carry at 13.5. At any time you have a back, you can turn and give him the ball, and he's guaranteed to get you almost 14 yards per. That's a nice luxury to have.
I mean, if you're the other team, what do you do at that point? Like, you hope to hold him to 11, 10? I mean, that's still impressive. That's probably still top 10 in the state.
Well, now you have the added threat of him coming at you from the quarterback position.
Yeah, put the ball in the playmaker's hands.
No, they got more than that. Here's a kickoff by Bill.
Another short kickoff here, and from the 21-yard line, the Maroons looking to get something going here. And out to about the 30-yard line, and Drew Polston will lead the offense back out onto the field as Caden Woolham made the special teams tackle for the Pirates.
Almost kind of bounced out to the left and got some yardage out of it, but was unable to break that one loose. Starting around where this drive started last time, a couple of yards.
That was Harris Denmeyer on his second return to the game for Pulaski County. Maroons offense looked sharp at times on that opening drive, but a penalty really set them back and they could never recover. On 1st and 10, this is Barrick Williams with the carry. I beg your pardon, that's Donovan Abbott with his first carry of the game. Picks up 14 yards and a Pulaski County first down.
Saw the junior Abbott get really active last year in this offense, and he's just a nice accompaniment down back in the backfield for the Maroons.
Now, you mentioned it, John. Abbott was actually the Maroons' leading rusher last year, 413 yards as a sophomore.
Yeah, I got a lot of that towards the end of the year. Defenses just couldn't figure him out.
Two receivers split out wide right. Now Williams goes in motion, so they'll have 2 receivers left.
On 1st and 10, again on the carry, this is Abbott. Burrows forward for a couple of yards. Isaac Dixon and a host of Pirates drive him to the ground.
And Maroons just right here trying to open up the pass game. They came out firing and now establish that run game, maybe get you some breathing room for your receivers.
After this play, we will take a look at our forecast for the rest of the evening, and boy, is it a beauty, thankfully. After the gain of 2, it's 2nd down at 8. Polston, pressured from behind, evades a defender, steps up, he's on the move. 1st down and more into Belfry territory. Polston scrambles all the way down inside the 35-yard line. A gain of 31 yards, and Pulaski County's in business.
You know, the run was impressive, but that's the reason why you have to keep that young man healthy if you're the Maroons, because he can really make it happen once he sees the defense forming as he's running the football. And that's a good example of it right there into Belfry territory.
Stephen Banks made the stop for the Pirates. 1st and 10, 3-man rush. Polston stepping up, firing incomplete. His intended target, Chandler Godby. Now let's check our forecast, courtesy of the weather crew at WYMT. 79 degrees at kickoff, and it's only going to dip down to 72 by the last play of the game. It is a muggy evening, but I tell you what, you could not ask for better weather for the first Friday Night Lights installment of the season.
Yeah, it's just super exciting. It's one of those, I love the sport because you get the summer and then you get the fall. And
on the carry, Abbott. Nice little burst for 7, perhaps 8 yards, and that will set up 3rd down and manageable as Dre Young records his 3rd stop already of this first quarter for the Pirates.
He is active all over the field. Now a 3rd down situation for Pulaski.
3rd and about 1.5. You can really open up the playbook here because you are squarely in 4-down territory. Pirates rush 4. Good blitz pickup. Pass complete. Barrick Williams looking for the pylon. Touchdown Maroons. A 26-yard touchdown strike from Drew Polston to Barrick Williams. And the Maroons are an extra point away from tying this ball game.
A big credit there as well to Abbott out of the backfield. He kind of got the attention of the corner and the linebacker, so allowed that throw to be open for the touchdown. That's an answer for the Maroons. That's what they needed. They're fired up down there on the sidelines now.
And we have a timeout on the field, called by Pulaski County. By the way, you might notice the new light system set up at Pulaski County this season. It'll look a little cooler as we get into the evening hours and that sun goes down. But they invested some money into these lights, and I'm excited to see it. They posted a preview online the other day, and what a treat and what a luxury to have something like that in your high school football stadium.
Saw that. I mean, the technology's getting so good. You know, I've been to fields where it takes 15 minutes for the lights to come on. They can just turn the strobe on at a flip of a switch.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, how about the response on that drive from Pulaski County? They come out, they turn it over on downs, then they give up the quick score to Belfry, but they march right down the field and are now an extra point away from tying it up. That's what championship programs do.
Great soccer player. Let's see how it equates on the football field. He's going to attempt an extra point to tie. Good snap, kick.
Logan Corson's extra point is good. He was 33 out of 36 on extra points last year, and he bangs that one through to tie the game at 7.
I thought on that drive, it started with the run game. They didn't get a lot out of it, but that huge run by Polston when he just got loose in the backfield really set it up for a score.
Talking about that Belfry defense, John, it's a tall task. They're having to replace their top 2 tacklers from last season, Brett Coleman and Brad Lowe. They do return Zane Hatfield. He's the top returning tackler, 53 stops last year. But you lose guys like that. For most programs, it would take them a long time to kind of replace that level of talent. But when you're Belfry, what's the old saying? You don't rebuild, you reload. They always have great players on the depth chart, just in the program, in the hopper, ready to step up and fill the shoes of whoever leaves to graduation.
Yeah, and greatness breeds greatness. Competition in practice, I'm sure, gets those guys ready to come out here and compete. And they do just reload.
Cade Sullivan, the right-footed kicker, boots it away, and from the 16-yard line, this is Dixon. Little jitterbug move, and he's taken down at the 26-yard line. Good open field tackle by Cody Nichols. And all of a sudden, this Pulaski County sideline, a little renewed signs of life here after a sluggish start.
Cody Nichols, just a solid tackle. Didn't try to arm tackle, went low, made sure he hit his man, and you pinned Belfry back really deep, considered where you give the ball to him last time.
Belfry started its last drive at the Pulaski County 45-yard line. 4 plays later, Isaac Dixon crossed the goal line to get the Pirates on the board. And they begin this drive at their own 26-yard line under the direction of Coach Philip Haywood in his 38th season. At the helm of the Pirates. And straight up the middle, nothing doing there. Great tackle is filling the hole, Trey Hornsby. And he brings down Zane Hatfield. Talking about Philip Haywood in 46 seasons overall. All he's done, John, is win over 76% of his games, 457 and 151 his record. Of course, 9 of those seasons, he had that great run at Prestonsburg. He is certainly the dean of high school football coaches in the state of Kentucky.
He's definitely one everyone looks up to.
And nothing doing that time as well. And all of a sudden, this rushing attack by Belfry has been slowed as, again, that was Zane Hatfield looking for space and finding none as the teeth of that Pulaski County defense converged. Aiden Wesley among the defenders to stop that play before it could go anywhere.
And a little bit of gamesmanship there on Haywood's part, because last time they got stuffed up the middle, what did they do? Ran up the left side, then ran up the right side. Figured that the Maroons would guess that, tried to go back up the middle, nothing going. Good defense by the Maroons.
3rd down and 7. Chance for the Pulaski County defense to make an early stand here. You figure Dixon keeps it here on this big third down run, and he does, trying to dance his way out of trouble, and he keeps the legs churning. He's brought down short of the first down, needed 7, got maybe 5, and now it'll be decision time for Philip Haywood and the Pirates as Leighton Abbott swooped in to record the stop for Pulaski County.
We'll see what they do here, but just their ability to run. Looks like they've got some personnel changes happening right now, so they may just punt this one away, barring a fake.
We mentioned Isaac Dixon wearing so many hats for this Belfry team. He's also their punter.
Yeah. And you know all the attention's going to be on him, so.
Donovan Abbott, the deep man for Pulaski County. Oh, I beg your pardon. That's Chandler Godby. And Godby looking for some space and picks his way for about 8 yards on the return. Good field position for Pulaski County. And we get to our first break of the game. 4:22 remaining in the opening quarter. All squared at 7. Pulaski County and Belfry doing battle here at the Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week.
A whole new way of buying vehicles is here with total coverage and great opportunities to lower your payment, pay as you can, save thousands on interest, and pay off your vehicle sooner. Let Thornhill change the way you buy your next vehicle. The best deals aren't in Pikeville. They're at the Thornhill Auto Outlet, Belfry.
Walters Mazda Mitsubishi has good news. New vehicles are arriving daily. New Mazdas and Mitsubishis. Plus, Walters is working overtime to find just the right pre-owned truck, car, or SUV that you want. If you haven't checked our inventory, drive by in Pikeville. We are located next to Rural King, or shop us online at waltersnm.com. Others may not be able to get the vehicle you want, but Walters will.
Remember, when others won't, Walters will.
Buying a home. It's likely the largest purchase you'll ever make. And choosing a bank is one of your most important decisions. Choose wisely. Choose Community Trust Bank to get you home. With over a century of mortgage experience, we're committed to the highest standards of personalized service. For strengths only a community bank can offer, look to Community Trust Bank. Building communities built on trust.
It's car shopping made easy. Thornhill Auto Outlet in Belfry, Kentucky, with total support when you buy and after you drive for quick and easy service repairs to keep you on the road to success. Easy to shop, easy to service, easy on your wallet. Thornhill Auto Outlet, the road to total savings starts here.
After forcing Belfry into a punt, the Maroons will take over on their own 47-yard line as we are tied at 7 here in the Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week. Isaac Dixon, a rushing touchdown for Belfry, and Drew Polson, a passing touchdown to Barrick Williams for Pulaski County. That accounts for our scoring. Some early fireworks here, partner, to kick off the season. You got to love it.
Yeah, you love it when a game lives up to the hype. And, you know, we both said it, 2 championship-caliber teams, and it's good to punch, counter-punch early. It's good for high school football, and it's good for you guys watching here and at home as well.
On 1st and 10, Polston rolling out of the pocket, pump faking, firing deep, got a man open. It is nearly intercepted. He was trying to get it to Bryson Duggar. And there to break it up for Belfry was Caden Woolham. How about Drew Polston, John? You mentioned the injury troubles the last 2 years, but give him a lot of credit. He played well in this game last year against Belfry. 21 of 33, 143 yards and a touchdown. Also ran for more than 100 yards, and it's good to see him healthy, and hopefully it stays that way for the duration of this season.
Yeah, if you've got a system like this, you need to keep him healthy, and you need to keep him working hard, and it looks like he has this summer. It looks great in this opening couple
After
of drives.
the incomplete pass, they'll go to Abbott here straight up the middle, runs for about 7 yards. They use Abbott in the run game, and then their main running back, Barrick Williams, they like to throw to him a lot. 86 catches for 868 yards a season ago. That's the West Coast offense part of this Pulaski County playbook.
Can really switch it up on you, especially with the versatility of both running backs, really.
3rd down and 3. Play action. Caught over the middle. 1st down and a whole lot more. Antonio Palmer, a house call. Touchdown Maroons, 47 yards. Their first lead of the night.
Now, we talked about it. Palmer just such a weapon. He's tall, got good hands, and it's just a quick pump fake over the middle, and he's got wheels as well.
Well, the play action was just enough to throw off those linebackers. Palmer got behind them, found the soft spot of the defense, and then used that brilliant speed to pull away from the pack.
Yeah, they've ran just so many different looks here, and was looking for that quick out as that kick is going to be up and good, but it was enough. As you said, the whole Belfry side just bit. And how about the Maroons here? Had to, went for it on fourth down early, turned it over, and now back-to-back scores. Puts them on top of Belfry here in the first.
A 3-play drive covers 53 yards. It looked like Belfry was ready to throw a knockout punch here early after that early sequence, but how about this response for Pulaski County? And the answer, everyone was wondering, is Drew Polston finally healthy and back to his old self? The answer so far, partner, a resounding yes.
And he's done it both ways. I mean, with his arm, with his feet, checking plays at the line of scrimmage. He has been a star in the opening quarter of this football game.
Pulaski County seeking its first ever win over Belfry and to avenge that 33-13 loss last season. Of course, after that loss, Pulaski County then rattled off 8 straight wins in the season that was marred by COVID. From the 15-yard line, this is Dixon busting it to the outside. Isaac Dixon turns on the speed. Still on his feet, and he's finally ridden out of bounds near midfield. A good return to set the Pirates up in great field position, as Abbott was the man who finally pushed him out of bounds.
Yeah, you do not want him catching that with a full head of speed running downhill. That's his specialty. And they kicked it right to him. So I think next time, I don't know if you're the Maroons, you want to kick him that football, because that could turn into danger quick.
Looks like they're going to say he stepped out a little sooner than originally thought. They mark him out at the Belfry 48-yard line. Still a good return. And the Pirates, this is the name of the game for them. They want to get into short fields and then ground and pound you.
Yeah, and they know also this is a long football game, and they've got a talented O-line, and they know they can wear you down. Even though they're down 7, they are fine right now.
First man through for the Pirates this time is Dre Young. His first carry goes for about 5 yards. Young went for 189 yards and 2 touchdowns last season, as James New made the stop for Pulaski County.
It's just one of those types of drives, too, and Belfry is this type of team where it looks like they don't gain a lot, but you look down there at the chains, and, it's 2nd and 5, 2nd and short.
And again, up the middle for the Pirates, it's Young. They go back to him, and he gets 3, maybe 4 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 3 for the Pirates.
Again, in a good situation, with the tackle, and now but you look up at the change and it's 3rd and short. So, this is where Belfry can cook. They punted it last time on the stop, but now in Maroons territory, it'll be interesting to see what Coach Haywood can do if Pulaski County can get it in this situation.
Season opener for 2021.
3rd down and 3 as the Pirates, you figure, partner, are in 4-down territory here. And they give it to Young again. He is stopped right at the 1st down marker. Looked like they have him spotted about a half-yard shy. But this is what Belfry wants to do.
Yep.
3 yards and a cloud of dust. They're confident that come the second half that defensive line of Pulaski County, which is a little bit undersized, will begin to wear down.
Undersized, but we saw that speed on the last drive, but now we're starting to see that size take effect on this drive. 4th and short. This will be huge for Pulaski.
Offense stays on the field for the Pirates at the Pulaski County 43. 4th down and a half-yard. And it's a fumble. Pulaski County saying they have it, and they do. It was a bad exchange. Dixon never had it. He tried to recover it. If he could have fallen on that, I think it would have been enough for a 1st down. but a heads-up play as I believe it was Ryan Dye who scooped up the fumble for the Maroons.
I was going to let you sort out that fumble, Tanner, but you're right. Huge stop, and now, if you're the Maroons, up a touchdown here, 130, use some of this momentum, and they're dangerous because they can throw the football and throw it well. So, Polston can take a shot here at any point in time and try to catch Belfry off balance because they're coming straight off that sideline onto the field.
So Pulaski County, great field position.
Maroons up a touchdown here in the waning moments of the first quarter. Polston will stick it in the belly of Abbott, who has been effective all night long, and he responds with a gain of 6 yards here before being wrapped up by Neil Copley.
Maroons not trying to do too much, just sticking to the game plan.
We're both doing the light skin from the side of the field.
This is an offensive line for Pulaski County. Coach Hines saying it's his most improved unit. They struggled a lot last year. They're pretty small, but they're really athletic. As the pass here complete to Godby, trying to get around the corner, can't quite do it, as it's excellent coverage by that Belfry secondary, as making the stop for the Pirates was Rudy Blackwell, but then a flag comes in late. Could be a late hit. Looked like some trash talk might have been exchanged there at the end.
I think that went all the way into the the sideline. I mean, he threw it, looked like over the heads of the players on the sideline.
I don't know if that was a late hit, but he did pile on the sideline.
I think the athletic trainer actually was the one who threw it back, and now I see assistant coach Phil Russell down there is looking at one of his players, I think, telling him maybe cool down.
Oh, this would be crushing for Pulaski County, and they are going to mark the penalty off against the Maroons. Instead of 3rd and short, it's now going to be 3rd and long. So that will move them all the way back to the 35-yard line, and they don't get to do the down over.
Somebody said something, and that's how you do it.
Yeah, that's those times, Tanner, where you've got to just stay even kill. I know the emotions are high, your momentum's going, but you can't, in these football games, you can't ever get too high or too low. You kind of got to stay even kill. And with tensions running high, first game of the year, it's where you just got to keep your head.
3rd down and 17 for Pulaski County. They got to get all the way to the Belfry 48 for a first down. Good protection for Polston. Has his man complete. And weaving his way through traffic after the catch is Bryson Duggar, but Copley there to make the stop. Good gain. We'll see if it was enough to convince John Hines to leave the offense out there on 4th down, and it appears that will be the case.
Still a little closer than it was last time, and your offense is kind of rolling. You got momentum on your side. You've got 2 huge stops on Belfry. Why not just keep rolling it here if you're Coach Hines? I don't blame him.
4th down and 5. Polston pressured, firing, got a man open, caught, first down. Good hands that time for Pulaski County, making the catch, Brandon Gibson. And what a play here in the waning moments of the first quarter. The Maroons knocking on the door once again.
I expected them maybe run out the clock there, come up with a play, come out with it. No, they just line up, throw a streak down the sideline, and a huge first down for the Maroons. How about this situation we've got brewing?
They want to run a lot of plays. They get another one in here before the horn. Abbott, and he dances his way for about 9 yards. I tell you what, that Belfry defense showing some holes here early, particularly the pass defense. 14-7, Pulaski County with the lead, and we'll see if they can cap off this drive with a score when we begin the second quarter. Along with John North, this is Tanner Hesterberg. You're watching the Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week on Heroes and Icons.
Nestled just off the beaten path in the Appalachian Mountains, a hidden gem awaits. Experience nature the way you want. Kayak down the river, hike a trail, or stroll through a beautiful park. Sip a local bourbon or craft beer as you explore City Square, where local culture and food make you feel like this is where you're meant to be. Are you ready? Pikeville. Let the mountains move you.
Walters Mazda Mitsubishi has good news. New vehicles are arriving daily. New Mazdas and Mitsubishis. Plus, Walters is working overtime to find just the right pre-owned truck, car, or SUV that you want. If you haven't checked our inventory, drive by in Pikeville. We are located next to Rural King, or shop us online at waltersnm.com. Others may not be able to get the vehicle you want, but Walters will.
Remember, when others won't, Walters will.
You're on the move every day. You're mobile, and so is Community Trust Bank. Now, you've got one-touch access to your accounts. No need to remember or update passwords. Make a deposit with a click, not a pen. No deposit slip and no line. And get that morning cup of joe without the hassle, without the wait. Community Trust Bank is dedicated to making your banking experience secure, fast, and easy. Don't wait. Go mobile with Community Trust Bank. Building communities built on trust.
Pulaski County up a touchdown, and the Maroon faithful loving it here tonight in Somerset, Kentucky at the Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week. It's a heavyweight prize fight. The Belfry Pirates, who are 4-0 all-time against Pulaski County, may be on the ropes here as we start the second quarter. I shouldn't say on the ropes. We're still pretty early, but with the way this game began, with Belfry taking the 7-0 lead, and now Pulaski County responding with a chance to go up a couple of touchdowns, and before we can run this play to start the second quarter, the Pirates will burn a timeout.
You know, of all the things that we've kind of seen in this game so far and the fans have kind of seen, that should be a nice that should give you some excitement if you're Pulaski County when Belfry is going out there, coming out of a timeout, coming out of the change of quarter, and they have to call a timeout because they don't have the right personnel on the field, or Coach Haywood didn't see something that he liked. That's a good sign that this team is kind of feeling the nerves right now and kind of feeling the moment. And Pulaski County probably twice should have just let the clock run out maybe into the second. I think 95% of the coaches in the state would have let the clock run out twice. Instead, they come out, they run 2 plays, get huge yardage out of it, and now knock it on the door. So, heck of a way to start here in the second quarter.
And you and I were talking in the break about how effective Drew Polston has been. We have him 8 of 10 through the air, and that's not including a couple of good passes that they've had called back due to penalties.
Yeah, and then the run that also set that up. I mean, he has been phenomenal tonight, showing off that hard work that he put in the summer. I mean, this would be a type of game that if you could pull off, that you put your name on the map if you can beat Belfry.
Drive started at their own 42 for the Maroons. This is Barrick Williams, who caught 86 passes a year ago. I think officially this will go down as a handoff. It was a little shovel pass behind the line of scrimmage, and he picks up about 5 yards here to move the sticks.
It's one of those, if I'm a Maroon, I'd probably give him a pass completion for it, but you're right. A little handoff up the left side. Worked out, though, here for Pulaski County.
If you're Drew Polston, you're probably lobbying for a completion there. Help the percentage.
I would be for sure.
At the 15-yard line, 1st and 10. Polston looking to the air, and for the first time tonight, he's going to be sacked as that Belfry defense comes up big there. Cade Justice shot into the backfield and brought down Polston for the first time tonight.
Justice, I mean, he really went in there untouched and threw a couple of tackles just to get his hands on Polston. And we've seen a lot of good things out of this offensive line, but you got to give Polston some time, and you can see how deadly he can be when he gets that time. But they really brought the heat on him that time.
After the sack and loss of 3, it's 2nd and 13. Abbott trying to get the lost yards back. He does, and scampers all the way down to about the 11-yard line.
I don't think Abbott has been tackled on the first hit all night. I think he's bounced off of it and continued to go. It's taken 2 guys to bring him down. You can do that against Belfry. You can do it just about against anybody in the state or anybody left on your schedule after this.
Abbott averaged a shade over 41 yards per game on the ground last year, certainly headed for a higher pace so far this season. 3rd down and 6. Pass caught over the middle near the goal line. Did he make it in? Yes! Touchdown, Pulaski County. Hauling it in, Barrick Williams.
I'm telling you, Barrick Williams, just such a, he's so versatile. You can sit him out of the backfield. Another little play action look, another little fake for Polston, and it's enough to score. Just catch Belfry enough off balance. You still got to make a good catch there. Williams did, hauled it in for 6.
Corson, who is perfect on 2 extra points so far, is now 3 for 3. And how about this? 21 unanswered points for the Maroons. 3 touchdown passes from Drew Polston, 2 to Barrick Williams, 1 to Antonio Palmer. And this Pulaski County offense, impressive here to begin the season.
If you'd have told me at the jump of this one that it would be 21-7, Pulaski, I would have said more 7-7 ball game would be ideal for both these teams. And Pulaski County has answered their first turnover and then some. Now the defense got to come back out here and roll. Belfry now in the situation where they do need an answer.
21-7 Pulaski County. And you don't beat Belfry often. Not many teams do. You mentioned Philip Haywood has lost just 25% of his games as head coach at Belfry, but to the extent that Belfry can be beaten, the formula is you have to jump on them early because what they want to do is get ahead and then bully ball, run the clock out, ground and pound.
That's a great point.
From the 38-yard line on the return, this is Zane Hatfield. And a special teams tackle by Jacale Brown. So the formula so far in place for Pulaski County, they've built this 2-touchdown lead. Now you just need your defense to be average or just good enough to, you're not going to completely contain Isaac Dixon in this Belfry offense, but if you can just do enough to stall them at this point, now that your offense has given you a 2-touchdown lead, that's the equation to upsetting the Pirates.
Yeah, now Belfry, finds himself with the clock ticking every time they don't have the football and really needing a turnover on the defensive side. So we'll see what the offense can do here. I'll tell you what they didn't do is kick it to Isaac Dixon that time. They did not kick him the football.
Dixon under center. He will keep this one. Dancing to the outside. Defender giving chase, but Dixon evades him, then bulls his way for a gain of about 5 yards. You talk about guys who don't go down after just one hit. It's hard to even get that initial hit on a back like Isaac Dixon. He's so shifty.
Yeah, if you're reaching and trying to grab him by his shoulder pads, you might as well forget it and just hope you slow him up for someone else to come in. And that time, Abbott was able to come in and get the hit.
By the way, it's 21-7 Pulaski County. We'll get that score corrected here in just a moment. A 2-touchdown edge here for the Maroons, who turned it over on downs to start this ball game, and since then all they've done, rattled off 3 straight touchdown drives. Here's a big seam. First down and more. Zane Hatfield, spin move inside the Pulaski County 30-yard line. It's a gain of 26 yards, the best play of the night for the Pirates, as it was Cody Nichols who finally made the stop for the Maroons.
And you talk about just, needing some, their defense to slow this Belfry team down. You can't give up a lot of those home run plays and expect to hold on to a 21-7 lead.
Goes for a gain of 25 for Zane Hatfield off the right tackle. So first and 10 Pirates.
This defense for Pulaski County, it's a 3-4 scheme. They're really small, and if this tells you anything, the front 7 all at some point in their careers have played linebacker. They string this running play out, flag down as around the corner for the Pirates goes Caden Woolham on his first carry of the night. A good one, but it looks like it might be coming back as that flag was thrown in the area of holding.
Yeah, it was kind of a slow developing play. It was a nice stiff arm to get to the outside, but I think the hold occurred right when that stiff arm happened.
We've seen a lot of holding or a lot of penalties in general here tonight. You would expect that in the first game of the season. Teams going against somebody in an opposite colored jersey for the first time.
They hit Pat's camera.
And I love both of these coaches, but I want the ones that feel.
After the penalty, let's see, they move them back all the way to about the 37-yard line. They'll get to redo first down, and it'll be first and about 20. And they will put it in the belly of Dre Young, and just not a whole lot of running room. That defensive line for Pulaski County has been kind of cheating and pinching down all night. You wonder eventually if Belfry might try to take advantage of that and counteract it, but so far they've been content to keep busting it right up the middle with Dre Young.
And the counters they have, they've hit home run plays with him. You're exactly right, Tanner. It was one of the touchdowns they scored earlier, and then one of the home run plays they had up the right side earlier. So, exactly right.
Scott County.
Second down and 14. Pulaski stacking the box, trying to slow down Dixon. Has blocks, has speed. Dixon rumbling, stumbling, scoring. Touchdown, Pirates. 33 yards.
You don't see a lot of backs. If you're watching at home and you don't get out to see a lot of football, you won't see a lot of running backs that is able to hit a gap and hit a hole like he just did between two defenders to score that. Super impressive for Mr. Football candidate.
Isaac Dixon was the Class 3A championship MVP back in 2019 when the Pirates defeated Bell County. That's his second rushing touchdown of the night. Extra point is up. It is no good off the right upright for Gideon Ireson. And the score will stand at Pulaski County 21 and Belfry 13. We'll see if that missed extra point comes back to haunt the Pirates at any point. But notwithstanding the missed kick, a heck of a response that time for the Pirates, falling down by a couple of scores. And what do? They go to the bread and butter, the ground game, and Dixon rewarding them with his second touchdown of the night. He looked dead to rights, and then out of nowhere, he pulls a rabbit out of the hat and scores the touchdown.
Yeah, I just can't believe the second and third gear that kid has to just sprint ahead of the defense. And again, he had several guys on him that was able to break through. And credit the offensive line. You know, they didn't quit on that play, kind of kept the tacklers away from him, and he was able to break through for a touchdown.
You're talking about that Pulaski County defense and how they had a lot of question marks. Coach Hines saying that they got a gang tackle this year. Yeah. They don't have a whole lot of guys who are going to rack up a lot of solo tackles, and they're going to be counting on their secondary to clean up a lot of mistakes that the front seven make. 3 of the 4 starters returning in the secondary, but when you're going against a team like Belfry that really never throws the ball, the secondary is kind of taken out of the game. Ooh, hard hit that time on the return out across the 35-yard line for the Maroons on the return. It was Cody Nichols and Cade Justice, another nice special teams tackle.
Yeah, Justice had a big tackle earlier on the other side, was in the backfield, got that sack on Polston earlier, and then bounces back here with another huge special teams hit.
So Pulaski County up by 8 here. Maroons on their own 33-yard line. They've been so successful through the air. What do you look for on this possession here for Pulaski County?
You know, establish the run like you have been doing. Get your running backs involved, and then, you know, look for those little slants over the middle. It's been successful. Play action has been very successful because they've been able to establish that run game.
Quick hitter here to the outside. It's Chandler Godby who had the big reception on that last drive to set up the touchdown, and he's run out of bounds after a gain of about 8 yards here to start this drive.
Yeah, Justice again running his man out of bounds, and you know, that's a good little play to keep Polston loose, keep him warm. A quick completion over to the near side, and was over there for a little while, probably the longest he's been on the bench as a quarterback.
Polston off play action, has a man in the flat, caught first down again. It's Godby, and Godby gets a little something extra down that sideline into Belfry territory, ridden out at the 36-yard line. It's a gain of 24 yards. And that Belfry defense, still no answers for this Pulaski County attack.
I've seen so much improvement. I was able to call Pulaski County a couple of times last season, and I'm telling you, these players that just kind of popped up last season where they made a couple of big plays, they're showing up big here tonight in a very big game.
On the carry, this is Donovan Abbott. Gain of about 3 yards. Johnny Hines talked in our conversation before the game about how if you're going to be the quarterback and run this offense for Pulaski County, you have to be an extension of the coaching staff on the field. You have to audibilize, you have to make checks at the line of scrimmage and be able to read the defense, and that's what Polston is so good at. He's an intelligent player in addition to having so much athleticism. Second down and 6, Williams, the catch, finds a crease, bulls his way down inside the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 8 yards and another Pulaski first down as Blake Hurley made the stop for Belfry.
I really think that coaching staff, Phil Russell, one of the passing coordinators down there for Pulaski County, I really think he sees something over here to this near side, throwing those little screens, those little dump passes to the sideline. I really think the Maroons see something that they can be successful with.
Fifth play of the drive for Pulaski County from the Belfry 24. A long look here for Polston. Chased, and he will dance his way out of bounds. That will go down as a sack as Noah Brown and a couple of other Pirates combine that time for Belfry. Zach Savage there as well. And did we have a penalty flag? Nope, no flag on the field. Play will stand. Loss of 1 for Pulaski County.
And you can see them maybe trying to set up that screen once more, but Belfry was able to blow that one up. They just kind of sold out everyone over here to the near side of the field.
Second sack of the game for the Pirates. Abbott
goes over left guard and tackle.
5 tough yards that time to set up third down and manageable.
A nice little counter play there. And again, you're 4 down territory here again, unless you do want to bring out the kicker, who is very reliable. I don't know from this distance, but went for it with a lot more yardage and a lot worse field positions as Pulaski County so far.
The scouting report on the kicker, Logan Corson, is he does have a good leg. Did not attempt a field goal last year, but did bang through 33 of his 36 extra points. On 3rd and 7, Polston using his legs, picking up the first down to about the 10-yard line. He's Mr. Everything tonight for the Maroons.
You know, one thing he does well is he is able to sell his pump fake. And a lot of time players and quarterbacks, especially at the high school level, when you have a play that where you want them to pump fake to try to catch the defense off guard, they rush it. It doesn't look real. You know, the defense really bots when he fakes because he really sells it that he's going to pass that football, that he's going to get rid of it because of those quick hitters that they've hit earlier in the football game.
Officially, they mark him out at the 11-yard line, so Pulaski technically can get a first down at the 1-yard line. They got another touchdown on the mind here. On the carry for the Maroons, Donovan Abbott keeps his legs moving, stays upright, and is tumbled to the turf at about the 3-yard line. Blake Hurley recorded the tackle for the Pirates to save the touchdown.
He got kind of lit up there, but not before that. He bounced off a couple of defenders to really sniff the goal line. I would go back to him right here. He has been the toughest runner in this football game so far, I think, as far as getting hit, getting contact, and just continue to go.
Yeah, there's one coming.
On 2nd and short, near the goal line, Abbott burrowing down to about the 1, and he did not hit the goal line. He might have enough for the first down. You get the sense with the way this Pulaski County offense is moving that it's elementary at this point.
Yeah, I'd go to him here one more time, but this is also Barrick Williams territory as the running back. They really like to use him on the goal line.
Are you surprised with how good of a push this Pulaski County offensive line is getting against that Belfry D?
Yeah, it's something that, I didn't expect. I knew the passing game would be successful against Belfry if Polston could establish it early, but, it wasn't a joke or just coach talk that this offensive line has gotten really, really good because they've given Polston a lot of time, and the running backs, they've made a lot for themselves, but the O-line has gotten a good initial push to give them some holes to run through.
Johnny Hines calls a timeout here, wants to make sure he has all his ducks in a row for his Maroons here on this 1st and goal from the 1-yard line.
Love the hat there, rocking the hat.
Well, you know how the hat tradition started for Johnny Hines. He coached in Florida before coming here to Pulaski County back in '99. It was sweltering hot that summer. He bought one of those cowboy hats for his whole coaching staff, intending it only to be worn in practice, but before the game that season in the Cumberland Valley Bowl, one of his players, Clay Stevens, who went on to WKU and is now coaching at Bowling Green High School, dared Johnny Hines to wear it during the game. The coach took him up on the dare. They upset South Laurel in the Cumberland Valley Bowl, and since then he's worn it in every game. He wears a new one in every football game, throws whatever hat he wears in the game away, and gets a new one each week. 1st and goal from the 1. Abbott trying to get there. Touchdown, Maroons. Abbott's first touchdown of the night. Everything going right for Pulaski County.
I mean, that's the case where he's gotten you that far. Let's give him the football. Hey, at that timeout, you say, hey, let's finish this drive off. You got us this far. and he punches it in for 6. Now we're seeing the lots a little bit. I don't know how good you can see it at home, but it is getting a little better there as the night wanes on. But, man, just a hard-nosed run, broke up this right side little counter play.
A 10-play drive capped off by the run by Abbott. The drive covers 67 yards, 28-13 Pulaski County. Gets us to a break. You're watching the Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week on Heroes and Icons and WYMT.com.
Summer is here, and the deal on the iPhone 12 mini just got even hotter at Appalachian Wireless. The iPhone 12 mini comes with massive features and is the perfect pocket size. Best of all, Appalachian Wireless is offering the iPhone 12 mini for just $1 with a 2-year contract. Good things do come in small packages, and it's the iPhone 12 mini on the region's best network. But don't wait. This deal won't last long. We are you. We are Appalachian Wireless.
Too much moisture in your crawl space can cause mold, foul smells, floor damage, and ultimately it will lower the value of your home. Here at Reed's Waterproofing, we specialize in getting rid of unwanted moisture by fully encapsulating the crawl space and in some cases installing permanent drainage systems to get any excess water out as quickly as possible. Give us a call today and we'll come out and do a free inspection of your crawl space. If there are any problems, we'll get a plan and start working on it immediately for you.
Emergencies happen, whether or not we are in a pandemic. You need help, we are here.
So the ER has remained a very safe place for you to come to be evaluated. We continue to mask up. You still can have family with you.
ARH has 13 hospitals that are all staffed by well-trained medical professionals, ready and open 24 hours a day to help you and take care of you in sickness or injury.
ARH, more for Appalachia.
County falls behind 7-0, and since then has outscored Belfry 28-6. It's 28-13. The Maroons leading the Pirates. Here are the Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week. John North, Tanner Hesterberg. Great to have you here on this one as we bring the curtain up on the 2021 season. Before the break, partner, we were talking about that tradition with Johnny Hines and wearing the cowboy hats and talking about how he gets a new one each game and throws the old one away. He does have one saved. He has saved one from his entire career. Can you guess which one it was?
I'm going to guess it was a big game, probably a state title if I had to guess.
You answered correctly. 2014, Pulaski County defeats Graves County.
And that's what Pulaski County.
And that hat hangs in his office to this day.
My favorite thing is how the student body embraces it. Like, that's just really cool. It's really good culture here at Pulaski County.
Good run back here for Belfry as Isaac Dixon gets it out to about the 37-yard line. Austin Harlow made the stop, or check it, for Pulaski County. Cody Nichols made the stop. And speaking of Isaac Dixon, let's take a little more in-depth look at him, partner. If Belfry's going to get back into this one, he's the guy they got a ride to victory. Had a good game against Pulaski County last year, 14 rushes, 194 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He's got the 2 touchdowns already tonight, but his team behind right now by 15 points. This play blown dead before it could get started. And we'll see what the call is from our officiating crew.
It is 28.
Let's take a little closer look here at Isaac Dixon on the fancy graphic prepared by our guy Anthony Sizemore, your fellow Redbird man.
Yes, sir. I call him Bub for a reason. We went to high school for a long time together. He's a hoot to be around.
Well, this guy's fun to watch as well. Isaac Dixon mentioned the law in Kentucky that was passed. Senate Bill 128 allowed high school athletes who played last year. Of course, it was such a funky year due to the COVID restrictions and cancellations. He was going to walk on at West Virginia, decided to come back for one more season as a Pirate.
You know, he is a star running the football, but the real load is carried by the offensive line, and he's got 2 touchdowns here tonight, but really besides him and his partner there, Halffield, really nothing going here for Belfry. So he's really going to have to start turning those legs and maybe doing a little extra with this 28-13 deficit.
Gain of 2 yards on that last play by Young. And a fumble. Maroons saying they have it. Do they? Yes, they do. Recovered in Belfry territory. Ryan Dye, that's his 2nd fumble recovery of the game. Boy, he's got a nose for the football, doesn't he?
You can see him just wanted the crowd to get fired up. And, some players are lucky to even get 1 fumble recovery in a season or maybe their career. He's got 2 of them here tonight against possibly one of the biggest powerhouses in the state. I mean, that is a heck of an opening night for that young man.
So 1st and 10 PC at the Belfry 40.
Mentioned Pulaski County's defense. Johnny Hines was a little worried coming into this one. They do return 9 starters, but Belfry ran all over them last year. They lost their leading tackler, Tristan Cox, who is now at Purdue. But so far, that defense stepping up admirably here, forcing Belfry into a couple of fumbles. And now a chance for that offense to go up by 3 scores here to close out the first half. Some trickeration, a double pass. Barrick Williams brought down inside the 10. Johnny Hines and company pulling out all the stops here in week 0.
And I tell you, I'm very familiar with the Union alum down there in Phil Russell. That is a Phil Russell football play down there, one of the coordinators for that team for Pulaski County. And they were trying to look at that earlier to see if they had that. And again, I said it earlier, they saw something on this near side. They pull out the trick play at maybe the perfect time in this football game.
1st and goal for Pulaski. Pass, caught, Polston to Godby for the touchdown. The Maroons find the end zone again. It's Godby's first touchdown reception of the night. Had 5 last year. And this Pulaski County offense here in the first game of the season, a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, and I said earlier you want to stay even kill in a football game like this, but 34-13, you are giving your fans an opportunity to get excited and they are going crazy down here below us in the press box.
Colson is 4 for 4 on extra points tonight, make him 5 for 5. And what more can you say about Pulaski County here tonight? This looks like a team that is not playing in the first game of the season, but rather is in state championship form in the final game of the year.
Yeah, and this is a team that lost again unfinished. They lost to Southwestern Pulaski last season, and they dealt with some injuries. And you're seeing what this team can look like healthy, and you're seeing what this team has looked like now improved. Because everywhere that Coach Hines has said they've improved, they have proven that in the first half of this football game, up 35-13. Still can't believe I'm saying that.
And a key stat is that Pulaski County has turned both Belfry fumbles into touchdowns.
Now, this is not how this game opened for Pulaski County, but they have blown this thing open now with 3:24 to play before halftime.
It's good to have high school football back. It's the first of many times we'll say that this year. Cade Sullivan's kickoff is a dribbler that's picked up by Dixon from the 24-yard line, and Dixon swarmed. He loses the football. Did he get it back? There's a scramble for it. Pulaski County has it. Belfry cannot catch a break. The 3rd time tonight that Belfry puts it on the turf, and it was Christian Slavey, who led the team with 4 sacks a season ago, who came up with the recovery that time. A couple of penalty flags coming out here, too. We've got a little bit of chippiness down there on the field all of a sudden.
I think so, too. And that first one may be a celebratory flag, which you'll take, but I'm not quite sure what that second one was. But, man, when it rains, it pours here for Belfry, and it's a lot of first season. I don't know if it's first season jitters. I'm not sure what it is, but Pulaski putting a lot of pressure here on Belfry.
Our officials sorting this one out. We may get a penalty against each side. It's so tough to tell in those situations who retaliated and who instigated.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's the man who acts second that gets penalized. There's one dead ball penalty against Belfry, and that's going to be it. So salt in the wound, things go from bad to worse for the Pirates.
So Pulaski, they don't even get punished for that. Instead, just a penalty on Belfry after they fumbled the football. And now the Maroons are going to be knocking on the door after another turnover. It's been successful for them so far. They've cashed their turnovers into points against this Belfry team. You still got 3:17 to play before half. It could get worse for the Pirates.
That can't happen. You talk to the head coach.
And that penalty will move the ball all the way down to the Belfry 12-yard line. And for the second straight drive, Pulaski begins deep in Pirate territory. Philip Haywood is all the way out at the hash marks and has an assistant coach with him who finally walks with him back to the sideline. But, you know, Coach Haywood is the greatest to ever do it in the state of Kentucky, and he certainly has a lot to be frustrated about with the play of his team here early. First down, Polston stepping up, weaving through traffic, makes a man miss. He loses the football. The Pirates are there to get it. And how about that response by Belfry? They recover it inside their own 5-yard line to thwart the Pulaski County scoring opportunity. Belfry needed something to go right, and finally it does.
They did, because the C opened up for Polston. I mean, he had the touchdown, and I mean, he was very close to being down as well. His knee was very close, but just on that slide as he went down, it slipped loose, and Belfry dodges one, but they're deep in their own territory here with a Pulaski defense that have already forced so many turnovers.
We'll see if we can get a replay after this offensive play for Belfry. Whatever Coach Haywood said clearly paid off. Dixon trying to get around that corner, and he's driven to the ground by Christian Slavey. Let's go back to the replay on the fumble to see if we can pick up exactly what happened on our Harlan County Tourism Instant
Good
replay. A good shot by our field cameraman, Travis Sherman. The ball came out. Couldn't tell who stripped it away for the Pirates.
And that's still just such a close play.
Copley made the recovery.
Now, I couldn't see exactly when he started losing the football, but, I mean, his knee was very close to being down.
Dixon on the keeper again. Spins his way from one tackler and then gets driven to the ground hard. A good open field stop that time by Leighton Abbott, and it'll be third down for the Pirates, who at least have a little bit of breathing room now. Out of the shadow of their own goalpost, they'll call a timeout. So here's the situation, partner. 2:25 to go before halftime. You're down 35-13. If you can somehow punch it in here before halftime, 35-20, all of a sudden, just from a mental standpoint, when you're going into the locker room, you can maybe take a little bit of momentum, and 35-13 seems a lot more doable than 35-20 seems a lot more doable than 35-13, especially when you consider that the Pirates will get the ball to start the third quarter.
It does, and, you know, Pulaski County here, they calling the timeout, they kind of smell blood in the water, Tanner, and they know that they can move the football if they get it back. And in a good position to here. So really, you know, this Pirates team needs to get a first down here. Maybe keep that clock moving, and dare I say, limp into the halftime locker room, because it has not been a great first half for them. And I didn't expect to say that at the end of the first half for this one, but that's where we are. Pulaski County has played fantastic.
Of course, we will see these Pirates next Friday night in the nightcap of the first night of the Pike County Bowl. All 4 games of the Pike County Bowl set to be televised here on Heroes and Icons and WYMT.com. This is third down and 5. Pirates from their own 9-yard line, and on the carry this time it's Zane Hatfield, and he appears to have enough for the first down. It's going to depend on the spot. But I thought you brought up a good point, John. Even if you don't get points on this drive, if you're Belfry, at least you don't want to give the ball back to Pulaski County and give that quick strike offense another opportunity to add points before intermission.
Yeah, they've done it a number of ways. I mean, when Pulaski gets it back, they've ran the ball well, they've thrown the ball well. You know, minus a couple of penalties, they've just about played a perfect offensive game. within the first half. But, Belfry, I think, rarely finds themselves in this situation where they are down by such a margin that, they don't need to play risky football. They just need to run out that clock.
20 plays from scrimmage for Belfry in this first half. All runs, including that one by Copley. And that clock will run. I'm like you. I think they're going to be content at this point if they can run this clock out. But if you're Johnny Hines, you probably take that for Pulaski County as well.
That's one of those types of things where if you're a fan down here, you got to love seeing that from the Belfry side. That, they just want to. It was kind of like the timeout they had to call earlier. It's just a good sign for the Maroons.
Dixon keeping, and he is spun down. Good pursuit as Leighton Abbott, for the third time tonight, brings down a Belfry ball carrier in the backfield. It'll be third down for the Pirates. Johnny Hines electing not to use a timeout there.
Leighton Abbott just has the number of Isaac Dixon. He's hit him hard a couple of times. It looks personal for him out there right now as we're under a minute to play before halftime.
We're inside a minute, 55 seconds.
Under a minute to go here in the first half of the Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week. 3rd down and 6 for Belfry. They'll throw it for the first time. Sacked is Dixon. Shooting into the backfield like a rocket, Trey Hornsby. And what a punctuation mark to end this first half for Pulaski County. My goodness, he came through unblocked.
And what a time to send him as well. Just the perfect call by Coach Hines and his defense. Knew it was coming, sent the blitz off of the weak side, and it worked out perfectly. I mean, it's like he studied Phil Haywood or something. Knew that was coming.
There is about 1 second difference, the play clock a little bit ahead of the game clock, so Belfry will have to snap this football. And Pulaski County will get a chance to return. I guess if you're Belfry, what you could do is just run an offensive play, maybe throw it out of bounds.
Yeah.
And 1.7 seconds showing on the clock. The play is guaranteed to take up that amount of time. I think that's what I would do rather than risk a bad snap on the punt.
Yeah, they had a safety there in the, I dare say a safety, a net back there in the end zone just in case that ball went back there if they can kick it out of bounds or something similar. That way the Maroons don't get their head on it. But, it's a good timeout here. You can't take them in the locker room with you. Call timeout. Make sure you have everything shored up because you just don't want anything crazy to happen with 1.7 left on the clock.
A couple of touchdown throws from Polston to Barrick Williams. Antonio Palmer had a 47-yard touchdown catch. Abbott a 1-yard run. Godby an 8-yard touchdown catch. And that's how Pulaski County has put up these 35 points. For Belfry, a couple of rushing touchdowns from their stud, Isaac Dixon. But he's also struggled tonight holding on to the football. No doubt he's frustrated with himself, and he's such a great player. We'll see how he responds in the second half. Belfry will get the ball to start the third quarter. 1.7 seconds remaining here. And Dixon will take the snap. He will run forward. The horn sounds. Dixon will take it out across the 20. And that's how our first half will come to an end. Pulaski County's slogan heading into this season was unfinished. And we'll see if they can finish out this one. The Maroons lead the Belfry Pirates 35-13 after 2 quarters of play. Along with John North, I'm Tanner Hesterberg. We'll take a break, and coming up at halftime, we'll recap first half scoring and statistics and preview the second half for you at the Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week on Heroes and Icons and WYMT.com.
Enjoy fall adventures in Harlan County with safe social distancing. Explore the Black Mountain Off-Road Adventure Park, fishing and boating at Martins Fork Lake, hiking and fishing at Kingdom Come State Park, and learn about our coal mining history at Portal 31's Underground Mine Tour. Enjoy a round the golf at Sleepy Hollow, the Harlan Country Club, or a nighttime round at the lighted Lynch Country Club, and maybe catch a sighting of one of our many beautiful black bears. Find more outdoor adventures at HarlanCountyTourism.com.
Nestled just off the beaten path in the Appalachian Mountains, a hidden gem awaits. Experience nature the way you want. Kayak down the river, hike a trail, or stroll through a beautiful park. Sip a local bourbon or craft beer as you explore City Square, where local culture and food make you feel like this is where you're meant to be. Are you ready? Pikeville. Let the mountains move you.
Buying a home. It's likely the largest purchase you'll ever make. And choosing a bank is one of your most important decisions. Choose wisely. Choose Community Trust Bank to get you home. With over a century of mortgage experience, we're committed to the highest standards of personalized service. For strengths only a community bank can offer, look to Community Trust Bank. Building communities built on trust.
Welcome inside the press box here at Pulaski County. He's John North. I'm Tanner Hesterberg. The story of that first half, the Belfry Pirates jump out to a 7-0 lead, but then Johnny Hines for Pulaski County apparently lit a fire under the belly of his team. They end up with 35 points, right now leading Belfry 35-13 after 2 quarters of play. Stellar quarterback play from Drew Polston coming back from that injury for Pulaski County.
Yeah, absolutely. The way this game opened, you know, it really went in the favor of Belfry, and that's like, you know, you kind of figured that's the way that Belfry is going to open this football game, and you get the 3 and out, you go for it, you don't get it, you turn it over on 4th, and they go 3 plays and score, and you're like, uh-oh, you know, that's Belfry football. That's what they do. For the Maroons not only to answer, but to put it on like they have, Tanner, it's super impressive. I don't think a lot of people, unless you're a Pulaski County fan, if you're from the outside kind of looking in, I don't think a lot of people saw this score coming at halftime. I think it's going to send some shockwaves across the Bluegrass when they see it.
I think so, too. And, you know, the expectations coming into any season for Pulaski County are always going to be high because this is a perennial championship caliber program. But Johnny Hines, by him to his own credit this week, admitted that he had a lot of questions, particularly about this defense. So either he was playing coy, or even if he was being sincere when he was talking about those question marks, I think a lot of those questions are answered here early. And I mean, you lose your best player from last season who's now playing in the Big Ten. And Tristan Cox, of course, playing at Purdue, and you didn't know how Drew Polston was going to respond after getting knocked out with injuries the last 2 seasons. You could not have dreamed up a better start to the season if you're Pulaski County. I mean, it's just remarkable.
Yeah, and if you're a Belfry fan, you've got to look and say, you know, Isaac Dixon, I don't think he's going to have a lot of games like that this season where he comes out, a couple of fumbles. And something to note, Tanner, as I was noting, waiting for the halftime clock to start, he was down on the field and kind of limped off. So anxious to see, you know, in the grand scheme of things, you still want him for district play. You still want him for a state run. So anxious to see how much he may be used here in the second half because the trainers were checking on him and he looked pretty banged up. But I know a kid like him, he's going to want to play through that because, you know, he has fumbled it a couple times. It's not his M.O., the way he's played football tonight. I expect a big second half out of him if he does come out healthy.
Do the Pirates have a heartbeat in Haywood here in the second half? We will find out. Shout out to our man Jim Frazier for picking up that one as it's 35-13 Pulaski County leading Belfry here at halftime as we get a look at the new light display. They're pretty proud of it here in Pulaski County, and it's pretty cool to see on such a great atmosphere for high school football to open up the 2021 season. We'll be back with more here at halftime as it's Pulaski County leading Belfry 35-13 here in Somerset at the Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week.
Walters Mazda Mitsubishi has good news. New vehicles are arriving daily. New Mazdas and Mitsubishis. Plus, Walters is working overtime to find just the right pre-owned truck, car, or SUV that you want. If you haven't checked our inventory, drive by in Pikeville. We are located next to Rural King. Or shop us online at waltersmn.com. Others may not be able to get the vehicle you want, but Walters will.
Remember, when others won't, Walters will.
Hey, Big Blue fans, Dave Baker here. You know, summertime can be the off-season for basketball and football, but there's no off-season when it comes to your health care. Have your doctor send your prescription to Total Pharmacy. The pharmacist's complete focus is on filling your prescriptions and explaining your medication. There's no off-season for your health. Now, there are 5 locations to serve you: Pikeville, Belfry, Phelps, Martin, and Prestonsburg. Total Pharmacy Care. It's not just a name, it's a promise.
The coverage you need when you need it most. We are you. We are Appalachian Wireless.
Don't forget, next Friday night, the Appalachian Wireless game of the week will roll into Pike County for the Pike County Bowl. Friday night's action sees Shelby Valley against Pike Central. And then at the nightcap, actually, I think those are the Saturday games. Bourbon County against Pikeville. Yeah, those are the games on Saturday. We'll also be there Friday for the Pike County Bowl. Belfry will play in the late game on Friday night, but I really have that Bourbon County Pikeville game circled on my calendar, John. Looking forward to calling that one because David Jones, the head coach at Bourbon County, the former Belfry Pirate and University of Kentucky standout, leading his Bourbon County Colonels back to Pike County to take on Pikeville, the number 2 team in the Mountain Top 10.
Yeah, there is a lot of talent in that Pike County Bowl, and it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. And glad WYMT is going to be on the covers because I'm glad when people in the state get to see teams that they're usually not in their area. That's kind of tougher to see. And deep southeastern Kentucky for those bowl matchups. Can't wait.
35-13 the score here at halftime. Pulaski County leading Belfry. And you mentioned the quality of play in southeastern Kentucky, and that leads us into a topic I wanted to discuss tonight. Recent comments by Mark Stoops, and what he said essentially was that Kentucky high school football is the best he's ever seen it. Since he's taken over at Kentucky back in 2013, so that would be 8-9 seasons now. He said the quality of play has been built up since he took over at UK, and he is really impressed with what he sees when he goes out onto the recruiting trail in the state of Kentucky. He really wants to lock down the local talent, and I know you see a lot of games, partner, mostly here in southeastern Kentucky, but what have you seen in terms of the quality of high school football player, high school athlete in the state of Kentucky? What have you seen?
I've called games, whether it be on the radio or now for WYMT for about as longer than Stoops has been there. And now we're calling players that they're going on to D1 programs, and I think a lot of it has to do with the quality of coaches. I mean, you look across the mountains at the legendary coaches that these teams are throwing out there, and just the names. It's a laundry list long, and even the teams within the mountain coverage and within I guess quote unquote like the 13th and 14th regions. I know there's not regions in football, but those teams within that coverage area. I mean the programs that they've been able to build, and traditions are important, and I think a lot of these teams are developing those traditions, and the younger players are seeing that. They're seeing players go on to play for these D1 teams, and that's what they want to be, and it's been a trickle-down effect. And I heard Freddie Maggard say the same thing, that a couple years ago, that Kentucky football is on the rise as a high school in the state of Kentucky, and I think we're at a peak right now where we're going to talk about this for years to come of how good it's really been. Golden age.
And to that point, you have to mention the players from the mountains that have helped Kentucky. You think of Cash Daniel recently from Paintsville, but look at the roster right now. Former Belfry lineman Austin Dotson looking to have a big year for Kentucky. Kaya Sharon, the quarterback from Somerset, obviously he's not going to be the starter this season, but he's certainly in the mix for the backup spot behind Will Levis. And you look at other local products. Johnson Central, the big offensive lineman, Grant Bingham, the class of 2022, he's committed. And then down in your neck of the woods from Corbin, Travion Longmire. So those are all athletes who have a really good shot. They're from southeastern Kentucky, of really helping this Kentucky program. And then, of course, other local products, Wandale Robinson, now playing for Kentucky. I mean, it really is amazing compared to where the state of Kentucky was on a talent level a decade ago compared to where it is now.
You know, once upon a time, if Kentucky, University of Kentucky, if they didn't win the state of Kentucky recruiting, you know, Tanner, it didn't really hurt them. But now the talent level is so high, you've got can't-miss athletes in the state. You've got athletes that you don't want to get out of state, but especially, you know, you don't want to lose those to programs like Louisville. So it's made the Kentucky-Louisville battle even better just because of the fact, like, you cannot lose this state now in recruiting. You cannot get behind in recruiting because that just sets you up for failure because there's guys that are really producing at a very high level in big-time conferences as well.
And some players from these two teams, no doubt, will end up making some big-time plays, not only the rest of this season, but on the collegiate level as well. 35-13, Pulaski County looked really sharp in that first half, but Belfry will have the football to begin the second half. We'll see if the Pirates can rally and make a comeback. We'll take a break and come back with more here at halftime as the light show continues in Pulaski County in the Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week.
You're on the move every day. You're mobile, and so is Community Trust Bank. Now, you've got one-touch access to your accounts. No need to remember or update passwords. Make a deposit with a click, not a pen. No deposit slip and no line. And get that morning cup of joe without the hassle, without the wait. Community Trust Bank is dedicated to making your banking experience secure, fast, and easy. Don't wait. Go mobile with Community Trust Bank. Building communities built on trust.
Attention Kentuckians. If you have tested positive for COVID-19 and are experiencing symptoms, you may be eligible for an FDA-authorized IV infusion therapy. This outpatient treatment for COVID-19 may decrease your chances of becoming seriously ill, reduce your symptoms, or shorten the term of your illness. Talk to your healthcare provider to see if you qualify for the COVID-19 therapy available at ARH. For more information, go to arhcovid19.com.
Mom was always the glue that held our family together. As years passed, she faded and taking care of herself became difficult. Mom was independent, so bringing home care into her home was a tough conversation. Home Care Health Services came in and instantly improved Mom's quality of life, and she got her smile back. When the time came for hospice care, there was no question who we wanted taking care of Mom in her final days. The transition to Appalachian Hospice Care was seamless, and we're so thankful we used Home Care Health Services and Appalachian Hospice Care.
Antenna viewers, rescan now and get in the circle.
We talk about trying to replace big-time players. This is a guy that Pulaski County wishes they could have back. Tristan Cox led all of Class 5A in solo tackles last year with 79. That's just a gaudy number in only 10 games. And he earned that spot at Purdue playing for Coach Jeff Brom.
Yeah, Brom, you know, with the Kentucky connection. But, you know, players like that are hard to replace. 79 solo tackles. I mean, that is just, you know, that's taking your job and taking it very personal. And you have to be very talented, but you also have to have a lot of willpower. You have to have a, you know, you have to have a good work ethic to be able to achieve that. Tough to, as you said, tough to replace, though.
This is a Pulaski County program that's had so much success in recent years. You remember the 4 straight state title game appearances in Class A back from 2013 to 2016. They won the title in 2014. I was lucky enough to be at that game, got to cover it at the time working for WYMT, and how exciting that was. And I covered several championships for those guys as well. The Belfry Pirates, they're in the mix every year, of course, winning it a couple of seasons ago over Bell County. And just so much lineage, tradition, and history, not only with Belfry, but with Pulaski County as well. And anytime you get to be around a game like this, around programs like this, you just consider yourself lucky. And, you know, that theme was on the mind of Johnny Hines in our conversation this week. You know, we're talking about how he and Philip Haywood have put in all these years at their respective programs, and he said that whenever Philip Haywood gives a presentation at a coach's clinic, he always makes it a point to attend and hear what Coach Haywood has to say and make notes. And also said he read his book. In fact, he has an autographed copy of Coach Haywood's book, and he's just learned so much from him. And he's on the verge right now of beating Coach Haywood for the first time in his career if his Maroons can duplicate their first half effort here in the second half, leading Belfry right now 35-13. We will take our final break of halftime and come back with a call of the second half. Belfry will get the kickoff, so the Pirates will get an early chance here to climb out of this hole here in the Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week on Heroes and Icons and WYMT.com.
A whole new way of buying vehicles is here with total coverage and great opportunities to lower your payment, pay as you can, save thousands on interest, and pay off your vehicle sooner. Let Thornhill change the way you buy your next vehicle. The best deals aren't in Pikeville. They're at the Thornhill Auto Outlet, Belfry.
Summer is here, and the deal on the iPhone 12 mini just got even hotter at Appalachian Wireless. The iPhone 12 mini comes with massive features and is the perfect pocket size. Best of all, Appalachian Wireless is offering the iPhone 12 mini for just $1 with a 2-year contract. Good things do come in small packages, and it's the iPhone 12 mini on the region's best network. But don't wait. This deal won't last long. We are you. We are Appalachian Wireless.
We started this a couple years ago. Like anybody would build, we used traditional insulation, and the mess was unbelievable. I talked to Josh Reed about the spray foam and how much it would cost for the foam versus the traditional insulation, and it saved us a lot more. If I had to do it all over again, I would have called you first and never did any traditional insulation. Never.
It's car shopping made easy. Thornhill Auto Outlet in Belfry, Kentucky, with total support when you buy and after you drive for quick and easy service repairs to keep you on the road to success. Easy to shop, easy to service, easy on your wallet. Thornhill Auto Outlet, the road to total savings starts here.
Pulaski County built a 35-13 lead in that first half, and the Maroons will now kick it away to Belfry to start the second half here tonight in Somerset. He's John North. I'm Tanner Hesterberg. A lot of fireworks there in that first half, a lot of excitement. And if you're a Belfry Pirate fan, though, it kind of left a bad taste in your mouth, and you want to see your team respond early and often here in the second frame.
Healthy dose of Isaac Dixon and Zane Hatfield. I mean, you need to see a lot of those guys getting involved in this offense. And you know, if you're a Belfry fan, you got to think surely that, you know, we've got the turnovers out of our system. Let's play some clean football now. And, you know, hopefully they got the turnover bug out of the way. And we'll see how Pulaski County responds now coming out of the locker room, which I'm sure that locker room was as scenic as it was out here on the field, because I'm sure they were very fired up. But you still got to come out here and play another half of football, which is very important against a Belfry team that will not quit.
Isaac Dixon and Caden Woolham are the deep men on this kick return for Belfry, and Cade Sullivan has it teed up for Pulaski County. Of course, you know the story of Cade Sullivan. His late father got to see him play a final time thanks to a helicopter ride all the way to Belfry last season when Pulaski County made the trip to Pike County, playing in his memory tonight, and Cade is having an outstanding game. There goes Isaac Dixon down the sideline, and he's pushed out of bounds at the 45-yard line by Ryan Dye, who's come up with several big stops for Pulaski County tonight, including 2 of the 3 Belfry fumbles in that first half. And we got a man down on the sideline. Is that Dixon?
It is Dixon, Tanner, and again, he he got shaken up at the end of the half, and again, he didn't have that same burst of speed that he had on that one, and then got hit again, and it wasn't really much, just kind of jarred him over here on the sideline, and he went down, kind of hobbled first. He didn't go directly down, so it makes me wonder if it's just a lingering injury from the first half, because we saw him being helped off the field.
Well, if you are a Belfry coach or former player or Belfry fan, this is the last thing you want to see is your star running back who declined a chance to play at a Big 12 football school and come back for one more year of high school football and try to lead you to a state championship. Down on the field here, shaken up in game 1. Doesn't appear to be in a whole lot of pain. We can't really see his face, but he is sitting up and getting tended to by trainers.
You know, obviously we're we never assume injuries, but the way the trainer is kind of massaging his calves there, it looks like it very well could be a cramp, Tanner. And I think you and I both can agree that we hope that that's the extent of it. But it just looks like the way they're kind of moving his legs and his hamstring and his.
That's good to see.
It looks like it looks like it was a cramp.
He's up.
And he gets a nice hand here from the crowd. He is making his way back to the Belfry sideline on his own steam.
This kid lit Pulaski up last year.
And you can see the respect garnered from the Pulaski County side. I mean, they huddled around him, and as soon as he went down, I mean, one Pulaski County player kind of helped him to the ground as he was going because, everyone out here at the stadium, in the press box, watching at home, you got to respect the talent that young man brings to the table.
I tell you what, Belfry has other talented players, but there is not another Isaac Dixon. They cannot replace him. And in at quarterback for Belfry to run the offense will be Caden Woolham, it appears. Woolham, a tall player there in the pocket, 6 feet, 160 pounds, just a sophomore. This coaching staff really likes what they've seen out of the youngster so far.
It'll be interesting to see if the offense changes any, but knowing Belfry, I don't think it will. It's very much a system team.
This is Copley with the rush, picks up 3, maybe 4 yards. Talk about how Belfry, this system over the years, Philip Haywood, the rushing attack, it's not necessarily a system that's built to come from behind and overcome big deficits. Pulaski County's offense, by the same token, is a kind of more of a quick strike offense that can help you fill in those gaps when you fall behind. But Belfry is used to getting a lead and holding it and controlling the line of scrimmage, as on the carry this time, Zane Hatfield did not get back to the line of scrimmage. We have an illegal shift penalty that will back the Pirates up even more.
And you wonder if that's sort of a personnel issue with Isaac Dixon out of the ball game right now, and all eyes are going to be over there on that sideline to see if he can pop back into this football game for the Pirates.
39, and we'll see if Mr. Woolham.
After the loss of 2, it'll be 3rd down and 9 as Pulaski County smartly declines the penalty.
Passing yard.
Belfry has attempted 1 pass tonight. And, well, I guess officially they haven't, since it went down as a sack. On the carry for the Pirates, Hatfield brought down a couple yards shy of the 1st down marker, but picked up enough yardage to make this 4th down doable.
Yeah, Hatfield is an electric runner as well, and called his name. And when we have called his name the couple of times, he has had a really good gain. I mean, he's getting 6 and 7 yards per carry right now, but they need him to come up big right here.
4th down and a long 2. From midfield, bad snap, and falling on it for the Pirates, it was Woolham, but they're not going to get the 1st down, and they turn it over on downs. The last thing you wanted to start this first half if you're a Pirate fan. Oh, my.
Well, Tanner, I'd be anxious to see it, not only if they I don't think they'll have this many fumbles in the game the rest of the season, but I would like to see combined at the end of the season how it compares just to this one game, because this isn't a football team that turns the ball over a whole lot. They don't make many mistakes at all, mistake-free, and they can take advantage of your mistakes. But tonight it has been quite the opposite. I mean, they've turned it over 5 times now.
Holston completes it in the flat. That's Antonio Palmer, who had the 47-yard touchdown catch back in the first quarter. By the way, Polston, according to our statistics in the first half, 15 of 17 with 4 touchdowns, as I think that's Palmer, who might be shaken up for Pulaski County. We'll check the injury here if we can get a look, and that is indeed Antonio Palmer, the senior tight end. What a weapon he is running down the seam for the Maroons.
Yeah, he was another one that came on late in the season for them. But, you can simulate games. You can simulate the heat that you play in when you practice. But the fact of the matter is when your adrenaline gets going, you get in a kind of a hot and humid game like this, you're going to see a lot more of this, I think, down the stretch. And I'm sure they're seeing it in games across the Bluegrass right now. A lot of cramps and a lot of players going down at the moment.
After the gain of 6, it's 2nd down and 4. Polston will hand off to Abbott. Gets a good push from the offensive line and bangs his way for a couple of yards. In on the stop for Belfry, Cade Justice and a couple of other Pirates. Justice, the senior linebacker, they're going to be counting on him big time throughout the course of this season.
Well, if you're Pulaski now, you really go into game management mode here in the third, up 35-13. You just don't want to turn the ball over and keep the clock turning.
Well, they snap it here with 15 seconds still to go on the play clock and nowhere to run. That was Barrick Williams. Got tripped up, and give credit to Neil Copley. He was the first Pirate to get there. And now it'll be decision time for Pulaski County, as Barrick Williams a little slow to get to his feet. The injuries starting to pile up for both these teams here in the third quarter, and you wonder if it has anything to do with taking that extended break at halftime. You're going hard for 2 quarters, and then all of a sudden you maybe get a little stiff at halftime when you're receiving the instruction from the head coach. And Williams is not going to be able to leave the field under his own power, at least just yet, as that looks to be a cramp as well.
Yeah, each player that's went down, you can see the same kind of treatment for him, pushing back on those toes and just trying to stretch out the players. But again, you can simulate it all you want, but you're right. You go and sit in the locker room, you kind of chill out, and then you get back out here, and it's so hot and so humid. And see just a lot of cramping early on in the season.
So what do you do here, partner? It's 4th down and about 4 yards for Pulaski County. You're at the Belfry 44-yard line. You can try to pin them deep here with a punt. You can go for it, and even if you don't get it, Belfry still takes over in its own territory around 60-some yards from the end zone.
Playing aggressive have worked up until this point. I think you just line it up and go for it. The way you play defense, this is doable territory for you against Belfry so far, minus 3 home run plays at this point for the Pirates. But you just line up and go for this one, I think. We'll see what they do.
On 4th down and 4, out of the shotgun, it's Polston with the Pirates showing blitz. They'll rush 3. Polston, pump fake, sets up deep, going down the sideline, incomplete, nearly intercepted. He was trying to get it to Chandler Godby as Blake Hurley broke it up for that Belfry secondary, and the Pirate defense does its job, forces Pulaski County into a turnover on downs.
Hey, you want a deep ball there for sure, and you want to be able to, just in case it is a turnover, you just arm punt it essentially, and that's what they went for here.
Polston waited maybe a half second too long, but even if he would have let that one go sooner, he was throwing into double coverage, which I think was the idea. Throw it up and give your big receiver a chance to make a play, and even if he gets picked off, Belfry is then pinned deep.
You're in game management mode, but you also want things that you can kind of put in your back pocket and say, okay, that worked well against this Belfry defense at this position of the game. So I like the look.
Isaac Dixon is not back in there for Belfry. Ball is out again. This would be the 4th time tonight that Pulaski County recovered a Belfry fumble. No signal. They have it. Recovered on the play by Cade Sullivan. In there as well for Pulaski County, Leighton Abbott. And fumbles plaguing the Pirates here tonight, partner.
I don't think I've covered a football game where, it's just such a talented team has fumbled the football so much. And, credit the Pulaski County defense that they're going for strips. They're hard hitting, tough nose, and they just dig the football out after it hits the ground. I mean, they've beaten Belfry now to every single fumble that Belfry has put on the ground.
That Belfry defense has to go right back out onto the field. You wonder if that defensive unit starts to tire down. offense not getting tired for Pulaski County, as this is Harris Denmeyer going to work, picking up some of those yak yards after catch. A gain of 14 yards there and a first down for Pulaski.
And they're not afraid to continue to throw the football again. Why would you get away from what's working? And Coach Hines, he's going to continue to grind his offense. And, Polston, if you didn't know about him before this game, he has absolutely become a name to watch across the Bluegrass as this season progresses.
He has been so accurate tonight. Just pinpoint. Look at a throw here on 1st and 10. And in the flat, that one is, did they say he caught it? It was Abbott.
Yeah, he did haul that in, but
he was bobbling it as he went to the ground. I couldn't tell if he maintained possession. Wouldn't have mattered really from a yardage standpoint, as he was brought down right at the line of scrimmage. At any rate, it'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Maroons.
I think just from a pride point, he wanted to say that he hauled that one in because he took the hit after regardless.
On 2nd and 10, the carry here from Abbott dives down across the 30-yard line. It'll be 3rd and around 7 as he was tripped up by Rudy Blackwell. You talk about this stable of running backs for Pulaski County. Barrick Williams is RB1, but the RB2 slot has a lot of competition. Donovan Abbott has gotten the most handoffs tonight. We've seen a lot of Williams in the passing game. Abbott more the downhill pounder. You have Cade Sullivan, who is kind of your speedy scat back, and then Cody Nichols, sort of a hybrid of the other two. On 3rd down, Polston pass caught, 1st down to the 15-yard line. Open to make the reception, Chandler Godby. Looked like Belfry was in a little bit of zone coverage that time. Godby found the soft spot, did the little hook route, sat right there in the soft spot between the zone for Belfry and made the catch.
Yeah, Godby's having himself a nod as well, just catching the football and being a kind of an outlet for Polston. But, one thing I do like about Hines, going back to the running back situation, he will go with the hot hand, whoever's just hot on any given night.
Polston, that one caught again. Godby down inside the 5. 1st and goal coming up for Pulaski County. That one was a little bit behind Godby. Looked for a moment like the Pirates were going to pick it off, but Godby just snared it away from the defender.
Yeah, it's probably Polston's worst throw of the night, to be completely honest with you, and probably should have been picked, but Godby helping his quarterback out. 50-50 ball, he goes up and snags it. That's been the story of the ball game. Pulaski County has just been on every 50-50 ball so far.
Well, they say it's a game of inches. That one looked like it could have been an interception, possibly a pick six, and instead Pulaski County threatening to punch it in for the 6th time tonight. Quickly to the line of scrimmage. First time tonight, I think we've seen them in a formation other than shotgun. They snap it directly to Aiden Wesley, and the junior big man rumbles in for the touchdown. And the light show complements the great show on turf we've seen here tonight from these Maroons.
What a moment for that kid to get to put in there with the jumbo package and just goes in untouched. And I knew that Belfry would struggle with the pass game if Polston got hot. I did not expect them to run the football as well as they have, and they are putting it on Belfry now, 41-13.
I didn't think this was going to be my pregame prediction was it would be a close race.
41-13. Trying to make it 42-13 will be Logan Corson. Penalty flag down as the kick is true, but it is a penalty against Pulaski County. They'll have to do the kick over. If anything, this gives your kicker a chance to kind of stretch that leg out, get a practice at a kick a little longer than a typical extra point.
And now you can see what he's got now.
Didn't kick a field goal last year. You're talking about that Pulaski County running game, and they don't have a lead blocker since they run the shotgun formation so much, not a wishbone or a traditional I formation. So Coach Hines saying his running backs, they have to run with authority. That was his quote, as the extra point is good from a further distance. And with running with authority comes the obligation to break tackles. They tell their running backs, partner, that just gain 5 yards and then don't worry about the rest. Or gain 5 yards first and then worry about the rest. get those 5 yards. That's all we need to keep the offense moving and keep the fresh set of downs coming for this Pulaski County O.
You know, that is a tough mentality to instill in running backs, and the way that Coach Hines and company has been able to do it. I mean, we've seen it. They all run with that mentality. You know, they run hard-nosed. They're bouncing off tackles. They get those 5 yards, and then they kind of start dancing. Then they try to start. So that's really tough to instill in young players that, hey, let's grind out these 5 yards. The rest is gravy.
Yeah, I was talking to a friend of mine last week, and he said used cars, booming. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Booming. New cars.
Cade Sullivan set to kick it deep. Belfry needs a spark. We'll see if they can come up with something here on this kick return, as that one goes out of bounds, but it touched a Belfry player. No, it did not. They do throw the penalty flag, as Caden Woolham was there to field it for Belfry. If it hit him, then I'm not sure why they threw the penalty. Yeah, it's a legal formation, so our official right there on the spot. What that means is that the ball went out of bounds before Woolham touched it, so the Pirates will get it out to the 35-yard line. Is it 35 or 40? You know, I'm still rusty on my high school football rules, too. 35. Okay, it's the first game of the season,
answered,
folks.
Tanner, by the way. I'm glad they answered.
I'm allowed one mess up. And we get a timeout on the field. We'll take a timeout as well. 42-13, Pulaski County leading Belfry here at the Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week.
Attend the Community Trust Bank WYMT TV Pike County Bowl on Friday night, August 27th at Belfry High School's Cam Stadium. Eastridge takes on Phelps, and Covington Catholic plays Belfry. On Saturday night, August 28th at Pikeville High School's WC Hambly Athletic Complex, Shelby Valley plays Pike Central, and Bourbon County takes on Pikeville. Get your tickets now at all Pike County Community Trust Bank locations or at participating schools. Plan now for an action-packed weekend during the Community Trust Bank WYMT TV Pike County Bowl.
Emergencies happen, whether or not we are in a pandemic. You need help, we are here.
So the ER has remained a very safe place for you to come to be evaluated. We continue to mask up. You still can have family with you.
ARH has 13 hospitals that are all staffed by well-trained medical professionals, ready and open 24 hours a day to help you and take care of you in sickness or injury.
ARH, more for Appalachia.
We grew up here in these communities. We live here in these communities. We have delivered hospice and home health services in the Big Sandy region for over 30 years. It's who we are. It is what matters to us. When it comes to choosing your home health or hospice care, you want a local, family-owned, not-for-profit caring for you and not their bottom line. You want someone you can trust and who understands you and your family. You do have a choice when it comes to who cares for you. Always ask for Appalachian Hospice Care and Home Care Health Services.
Well, some good news for Belfry as Isaac Dixon is back into the ball game. 2nd and 8 for the Pirates here midway through the third quarter, trailing Pulaski County 42-13. I think at this point you maybe just try to get out of this one healthy, partner, and not put a whole lot on film for your next opponent, as a good run here. Zane Hatfield, his best run of the night, out to midfield and a Pirate first down.
Yeah, if I'm a coach in this situation, I probably give my team 2 drives here. If I can score on back-to-back drives, I maybe okay. But, if you turn the ball over again, or if something happens to where you don't score, Pulaski County gets the ball back, I do think at that point that it may be time to just run the football, maybe get some of the younger guys in there, and just hope you get out of this one healthy for next week. I think that would that'd be beneficial for Belfry.
We got 2 injuries here, one for each team. For Belfry, that's Zane Hatfield. And can't quite tell who the Pulaski County defender is. I wonder if those guys ran into each other. Looks like they're doing some kind of synchronized exercise course right here.
Yeah, it looks like they're on the training table
like calisthenics.
Together. What is it that's supposed to, like, pickle juice or mustard or something? I've heard
pickle juice.
I've heard of like a million things that helps cramps. But.
They give it to us broadcasters to help get our voices back if we lose them in the middle of games.
Yeah, I've seen I've seen some games where they have just mustard and just straight up drink it on the sideline.
I've never seen that.
Yeah.
They just do shots of mustard?
Shots of mustard.
Be a good name for a new restaurant chain. Shots of mustard.
As a mustard fan, I would be down.
I'm a mustard fan as well.
Big mustard guy.
42-13, 6:22 to go here in the third quarter. If there is going to be any sort of comeback bid for the Pirates, they have to punch it into the end zone here on this trip. Dixon back in there to lead the offense, operating in Pulaski County territory, and he will put it in the belly of Mikey Hilton. His first carry of the night.
I'm kind of seeing that Belfry offense and what we know from it, just those quick hitters. But again, it's not you mentioned it earlier, it's just not their style of playing down 42-13. They're used to being up that much at this point, just trying to get into the fourth quarter and run that clock down. But definitely taking their time here. They know they have to score on this drive.
Well, they're not really giving it to Dixon to carry a whole lot. He's been handing it off. I think they want to reduce the hits on him as much as they can.
Well, they looked a little disorganized when he wasn't out there on the field. So I think just from a game management standpoint, he kind of needs to be under center just because of how well he knows his line, how well he knows his center out there. So.
3rd down and 2 for the Pirates. And Dixon will keep this one, looking for some space, has the first down. He does not look injured. He's still got that quick burst, and he carries it down to about the 20-yard line. A gain of 18 yards and a new set of sticks for the Belfry Pirates.
Yeah, and Dixon, once again, just really slow to get up, trying to get up off the field, and again, just laying down. And, I mean, that kid's, he's leaving it all out on the field. Just a gutsy performance to try to even gut it out and take some snaps. But if that doesn't say anything about his character, I don't know what does. I mean, he is literally every hit he has taken, he has went down in this half, and he's still trying to give it a go. I think that says a lot about him, Tanner.
I think it does too, and you just can't keep him out of the ball game with that spirit that he has. But I will say this, Philip Haywood knows infinitely more about football than I will ever be able to know in this lifetime. But just looking at a player like Dixon and seeing how important he is to Belfry's championship aspirations, down 42-13 here late in the third quarter in a ball game that really doesn't matter in terms of your seeding in the postseason, you have to wonder how much longer you leave him into this game. How many more hits do you let him take in a game that is probably already out of reach, and a player that you certainly need to preserve for the rest of the season?
Yeah, it's just thankful to just see him get up each time too, and that just tells me that it's that he's in a cramping situation. The athletic trainers over there, they would not let him go back into the football game if he was injured. So you can just tell he's dealing with a lot of cramps right now, and that's got to be tough for him as a player to just have your body give up on you and not perform like you needed to.
You know what's going to be an outstanding game this year? The inner-city rivalry when Pulaski County meets Southwestern later, because the Warriors have a loaded team as well.
Always so much fun to watch. I've been on the call for a couple of those within radio and television. I'm super excited for that, to see that.
Hatfield, no gain that time for the Pirates, brings up 2nd and 10. Well, if you're a team like Southwestern or any of Pulaski County's opponents this year, and you look at the film of tonight, what are you drawing up in terms of how to slow down this offense?
Yeah, I think it all starts with, getting pressure on Polston. It's something that Belfry has not been able to do tonight, so you've got to figure out a way to crack this kind of improved offensive line. Belfry's able to do it a couple of times, but it's going to be when Polston gets cooking, it's going to be tough to stop him, especially when he's got that plethora of running backs to choose from.
Trey Young with the gain of a couple for the Pirates. 3rd down and long coming up here. I'm like you got to be able to get pressure on Polston. And Johnny Hines was really concerned about his offensive line coming into this season. They're very small. They really only have one big guy. They're athletic, but they're just not big. But I tell you what, they have done a great job protecting Polston tonight. He has had some great pockets from which to throw.
And last year he did have to run a lot, run around the field a lot, throw on the run, and suffered some injuries. So hopefully they can make life a little easier for him this year.
Ball is out. Looked like the Pirates came back up with it as Caden Woolham got absolutely rocked. Coughed up the football. Hornsby knocked the ball loose. Let's take a look at the replay. Brought to you by Harlan County Tourism. And we'll see it from the beginning of the play here. On the scramble for the Pirates, Woolham trying to break it to the outside. Well, we cut off our replay right before we got to see the hit. But rest assured, folks, it was a nice hit.
It was a hit stick-esque hit.
4th and 10 officially, Jamie, as Woolham gets the call from Coach Hay with 3 minutes left.
42-13 as we are down to the 3-minute mark of the 3rd period. It will live in our hearts forever. Showing off the legs here, Hatfield just does get back to the line of scrimmage. Another fine defensive play made by Christian Slavey. And he's a guy who Johnny Hines singled out in our pregame conversation. A guy they'll really be counting on a lot this season. One of 9 defensive starters returning, and he's a guy you just call his name a lot because he's seemingly in on every play. He has a motor. I know that's a cliche, but he's a guy that just really has a nose for the football.
Yeah, this defensive line, they played better than what I thought they would tonight. Ryan Dye, a 3-year starter. You talk about starters on the defensive line, and he's gotten 2 fumble recoveries tonight.
How about this? Slavey last year started the year at outside linebacker, then moved to inside linebacker, and ended the season at nose tackle as the Pirates take over after the turnover on downs, and they will be content to eat clock probably the rest of the game here. As on the carry for the Maroons, it was Donovan Abbott, who has more than carried a yeoman's share tonight.
Well, Slavey was a name that I'm sure a lot of broadcasters, radio alike, said his name a lot on defense, and then you switch that and you go over to the the offensive line. You don't get as much love over there.
Polston looking to throw it here with this large lead and a nice timing pattern, complete to Bryson Duggar. And he has a first down out to the 40-yard line, a gain of 14 yards. This Maroon offense just completely in sync as Polston, we knew he had great chemistry with Barrick Williams, 86 receptions last year for Williams, but he seems to have great chemistry with every member of this Pulaski County receiving corps. Now, unfortunately, this pass is going to be wiped out due to a penalty. And we also have an injury in the Belfry secondary as Caden Woolham is slow to get up.
Yeah, and you hit the nail on the head there, Tanner, when you said that just the receivers that he spreads the wealth to. He has guys that, clear across the board that he can throw to, but he seems to be able to find everybody tonight. I mean, he has gotten everyone involved in the offense, and that's probably one of the more impressive things that he's done tonight. But man, what a game he's had.
After the penalty, it'll be 2nd down and 16 instead of a new set of downs for Pulaski County. Maroon's got to be a little careful here, John. Don't want to turn it over in the shadow of your own goalpost and give Belfry any signs of life. This is Abbott, and Abbott weasels his way for a gain of about 6 yards.
Yeah, they went low on Abbott that time because they realized that they can't hit him high. I mean, he's bounced off defenders all night, so they're starting to go low on him to try to contain him.
3rd down and 11. Polston back to pass, 4-man rush. Pass is incomplete right through the hands of Bryson Duggar. Would have maybe had enough for the first down if he could have picked up about 5 yards after the catch, but it falls harmlessly to the turf, and the Maroons will do something they, I think, have only done one time tonight, and that's punt the football on that opening. No, they went for it on the opening drive on 4th down, didn't convert it, so this might be their first punt of the night.
Yeah, it's their first punt. Big body language guy, Tanner, and you could see as Polston. One thing I noticed on that drop pass, a lot of quarterbacks would show some emotion. He just looked directly to the sideline and jogged over. And you like to see that, especially when you're a receiver. I mean, that was an obvious drop ball, but nothing but love for his receiver there.
Trey Hornsby is the punter, and Hatfield, the deep man for Belfry. Pirates nearly got a hand on that one. Kind of a wobbly punt. It will careen out of bounds near midfield, and the Pirates will take over down 42-13.
Yeah, not only a wobbly punt, but almost snapped that one over his head, which would have been disastrous, because you don't want to, I know it's 42-13, but you don't want to give this Belfry side any kind of hope heading into the fourth. And so far, so good for Pulaski. And I know you asked just to slow Belfry down in the first quarter. I mean, they've kind of shut Belfry out now here in the second.
This was a big night for Pulaski County. It was senior night. They honored 9 seniors before the game, and I like that. You do your senior night on opening night because who knows what the rest of the season is going to look like, if you'll even get to play your last home game of the season.
Yeah, that was a tradition, kind of started last year with the COVID-19 protocols and the cancellation. So I expect to see a lot of schools doing that during their first home game, just so they can honor their seniors, so they can have that moment so they don't get a cancellation or a reschedule.
And Belfry is going to take a timeout here with 89 ticks remaining on the third quarter clock. 42-13 Pulaski County, and you wonder at this point for both teams, how much do you want to put on film for your opponents to see the rest of the way?
Yeah, you're right. And I was going to go to Coach Haywood here. The good news for him and Belfry, he's going to have a lot to coach next week. And as a coach, you learn a lot more from when you get kicked like this, 42-13, than a blowout on the other side. So he's learned a lot about his team here tonight against a high-quality opponent. And you better bet he'll be in the lab tomorrow and trying to cook up something to help his team out in the following week and to work on things. I'm sure he's going to pour over this film tomorrow and tomorrow night to see what went wrong here at Pulaski County.
Yeah, they got a long bus ride back to the corner of Pike County to think about this one as well and go back to the drawing board and make some adjustments before hosting the Pike County Bowl next week. 1st and 10 for the Pirates. Looked like Dre Young was the ball carrier that time.
And just a quick hitter handoff, and anything up the middle tonight, Pulaski County has had locked down. Been a little successful running out to the wings, but has Belfry. But as far as up the middle has went, you hit it earlier when you said they're just pinching everything, and it has been successful. They've sold out for the run, and it's worked.
Another fumble. There's a scrum for it at midfield. I think the Pirates got it back, and they did, but it'll be 3rd down and long. And you can't really blame the weather. It's been dry all day. As we get into the later hours, that fog kind of settles in a little bit, but you certainly can't blame the early game fumbles on that. Belfry is just obviously needing to improve the ball security. I think that's a big takeaway from this one the rest of the year, as Zane Hatfield a little shaken up again.
I can't believe how many times that they have fumbled the football here tonight for a team that their MO is not to make mistakes, and they don't turn it over a whole lot. And when they do, it's mostly forced. Tonight has been, it's been a couple missed handoffs. It's not really been they've been jarred hard and dropped the football or anything like that. It's just been slips. It's just been little mental mistakes for Belfry that you're not used to seeing if you watch that football team a lot. And Pulaski County has been on top of just about every single one of them. Just super uncharacteristic from the Pirates.
Third quarter, it is 19.
Johnny Hines was concerned about not knowing how to scout these Belfry Pirates. Each team scrimmaged twice, and then they exchanged film of the two scrimmages with each other. And Johnny Hines saying, though, correctly, there's only so much you can tell from a scrimmage.
Yeah.
They go to the sidelines and get the play call.
And, you know, they played the same system for so long that Coach Hines probably, it's more of a personnel thing at that point when you're looking at film, because you know what they're going to run. They do put different wrinkles in the offense when they run this type of wing tee and option look.
Looking to throw it, looking for the first completion tonight, and that one is a little too tall for Alex Long. The first time Belfry tried to throw it tonight, back at the first half, Dixon got sacked. And Johnny Hines was talking about that as well. In terms of Belfry in the passing game, they do not throw it often. In fact, I think just 10 total passes all of last season, but when they do throw it, it's effective because it kind of catches you off guard.
Yeah, you see that a lot from the, reminds me of the University of the Cumberlands down there in Williamsburg. They run it a lot in the years I covered Union, and then they can burn you over the top with a throw and the snap of a finger, and that's kind of what you see out of this Belfry team. And you don't want to prepare too much for the pass because you're so focused on, doing your job and keeping your eye on the runner.
Dixon back in the game, punts that one away. Kind of ugly coming off his foot, but with the roll, it ends up being a pretty good punt. That squirts out of bounds at about the Pulaski County 30-yard line. Probably one offensive play left in this third period. 42-13 Maroons. High-scoring first half, just one touchdown here in the second half, and that was the 1-yard touchdown plunge by Aiden Wesley. Of course, a stellar first half for Drew Polston and company. He was 15 of 17 through the air, 4 touchdown passes, 2 to Barrick Williams, 1 to Antonio Palmer, and 1 to Chandler Godby. We rave about his quarterbacking skills, but you got to give credit to this receiving core as well, creating separation, and only 1 drop tonight.
Oh, they've helped him out a lot, and you can tell that these guys have been working together in the offseason. The short routes have been just pitch and catch, and it's looking like, a lot like just practice with the shell defense out there in the short yardage. The times that Polston has taken shots downfield, it's been there, it's been on, it's just good defense.
Duggar, the recipient of that catch, and it gets us to the fourth quarter. Pulaski County trying to close this one out, leading the Belfry Pirates 42-13. Fourth quarter coming up in the Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week on Heroes and Icons and WYMT.com.
DQ Biscuits and Gravy. Now this is the stuff that biscuits and gravy dreams are made of. The kind of dream where home-style biscuits are served fluffy and warm. And the scent of simmering gravy made with Purnell sausage is so aromatic you can taste it. And then the dream ends with you taking a bite just to realize you're not really dreaming. You're at DQ, in your pajamas, eating the best biscuits and gravy of your life. DQ. Happy tastes good.
The coverage you need when you need it most. We are you. We are Appalachian Wireless.
Buying a home. It's likely the largest purchase you'll ever make. And choosing a bank is one of your most important decisions. Choose wisely. Choose Community Trust Bank to get you home. With over a century of mortgage experience, we're committed to the highest standards of personalized service. For strengths only a community bank can offer, look to Community Trust Bank. Building communities built on trust.
DQ Biscuits and Gravy. Now this is the stuff that biscuits and gravy dreams are made of. The kind of dream where home-style biscuits are served fluffy and warm. And the scent of simmering gravy made with Purnell sausage is so aromatic you can taste it. And then the dream ends with you taking a bite just to realize you're not really dreaming. You're at DQ, in your pajamas, eating the best biscuits and gravy of your life. DQ. Happy tastes good.
Well, we apologize. During the break, they started the action before we were back from break, and Polston connected with Antonio Palmer for the second time tonight for a long touchdown, and Pulaski County puts another score on the board. And Pulaski having to burn another timeout here. And we have an injury back at about the 30-yard line as things go from bad to worse for the Belfry Pirates. They give up another score. And that's just another example of what Palmer can do to a secondary. He can line up on the line, throw a good block. And again, that's Hatfield. He's been down 2 or 3 times tonight for Belfry. And if you're a high school defense, I'm not sure what the answer is for Palmer.
Yeah, Palmer, he's just such a weapon. He's tall, he's a big target, but he's also got the wheels to burn you. And, that's what I love using a tight end like that in football. And I love offenses that use a tight end like that instead of, more of a blocking. I know that's, successful, but it's much more fun to watch a team that utilizes them such as they do Palmer. And you could see flashes of it last year with him. They targeted him a lot. And he had a pretty big game there against Southwestern at the end of the year, kind of his breakout game. And I think he's definitely added to that this season as a senior. Should be pretty fun to watch him progress all the way down the line here in his senior year.
So by my calculations, if Corson makes this...
Corson on for the extra point. Low snap. They get it down, and he pulls it to the left. Looked like a bad exchange. Can't really put that one totally on Corson. By the way, he's the star of the soccer team here at Pulaski County. They've been slow getting their season started because they've had some bad weather. But a great start to the season for the football team here. 48-13. You hardly ever see any teams beat Belfry. You never see teams beat Belfry like this.
We almost had a running clock situation there, Tanner. And I was about to say, has Belfry ever been on this side of a running clock situation? Of course, the extra point was missed. But I doubt that it's happened, at least recently, as far as my knowledge has gone. And Pulaski County is the real deal, as we've seen here tonight, if they've really put it to Belfry. And now just got to hold on this last 11:48 of this ball game.
Let me put it this way. In my 9 years of covering Belfry football, I can't ever remember a situation where they were threatened with a running clock.
Yeah.
Now, they've put the running clock on a lot of teams over the years, but you never see it done to Belfry. Corson in on kickoff duties now. And a muffed return attempt here for the Pirates. Those, I think, not Cade Justice, those 25. Stephen Banks with his first return of the night. So the Pirates will begin this drive at their own 23 here to begin the fourth quarter, down by 35 points. Remember, Belfry started this game with a touchdown after a defensive stop. It was 7-0 Pirates. And since then, all Pulaski County in a big way. Since that opening touchdown, in fact, Pulaski County has outscored Belfry 42-6. Just incredible.
There's not a lot of teams in the state that could do that to this Belfry team. And Pulaski County, I mean, they've just put together one of the more perfect games I think that they'll have this season against this Belfry team. And they've taken advantage of every turnover that they've come up with, and they've done it on the ground. They've done it through the air. And again, it's just a couple more whistles against this Belfry team. They've been all out of sorts when they've lined up on offense, and I guess part of that is because Isaac Dixon has been in and out of the ball game. But man, it's just rains and pours here for Coach Haywood.
Yeah, the penalty will back them up 5 more yards.
The 2021 season coming up. This one's been all Pulaski.
In at quarterback for the Pirates is Caden Woolham. And he will hand off to the first man through for the Pirates That time, I believe it was Braxton Hatfield. When was the last time there was not a Hatfield who played for Belfry? I can't remember a time.
Yeah, I'm out on that one as well.
You know, there are certain names that you just always see at a program. Hatfield for Belfry, of course, a lot of McCoys throughout the years as well. And another name I think of is the Olingers at Hazard.
Yep.
Hazard always has an Olinger.
So they gave him no gain on that. 2nd and 10. Braxton Hatfield back.
2nd down and 10, some movement up front. The yellow laundry flies, and we have another penalty here against the Belfry Pirates. It's a false start.
Speaking of Hazard, they're in a tough one right now with Middlesboro. Middlesboro jumped all over them to start that game, and now a 22-20 ball game.
Good one to start the year there in Class A.
Yeah, halftime score was 22-7, and now Hazard is clawed back in that one. A very good game going on. I think that one's at Middlesboro tonight, so.
We'll see Middlesboro later in the season in the Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week. We got some good ones down in your neck of the woods in the Cumberland Valley. I think we've got Corbin on, maybe Whitley County. And another whistle here, my goodness. Timeout Pirates, as they are just out of sorts at the moment.
Yeah, very, not even off balance. I mean, when you have to call a timeout after a penalty, it's just, you know, I'm sure the players are strong words over there from Coach Haywood, but going back to some of those teams down in the 13th region area, Middlesboro is a team that a lot of people are excited about. So they could be a surprise team. Excited to see them. In action. Of course, Knox Central has the Gavin Chadwell's the story of the 13th region last year in that area. A lot of good talent down the mountains and spreading all the way around eastern Kentucky and out towards Somerset.
Also, it feels good to say this late in the season. If you're a Cincinnati Reds fan, you know the playoffs getting ready to start here before too long. The Reds won again tonight. Big win for the Reds. Oh, wow. Actually, a playoff contention, I can't believe it.
This one huddle I would have liked to have been in there.
Wow, we got the East women listening to us. What
2nd down and 20 after the penalty for the Pirates. Backed up to their own 13-yard line.
All right, Belfry. See, the Pirates.
And they keep it on the ground, straight up the gut. Gain of a couple of yards.
They really are.
And you see number 54 there for the Maroons, a really special story. You'll like this, John. That's Carter Kring. He's a senior, and he plays a major role for this Pulaski County team despite being legally blind. Just an incredible story of what that young man has overcome. He was bitten by a spider when he was 10 years old. It damaged his optic nerve. It's one of only 7 known cases in the entire world. He's not completely blind, but can really only see about 6 inches in front of his face, but enough to play football. And I was talking to his dad, Rodney, before the game. It was a pleasure meeting him and his mom, Jennifer. The Krings are so proud of what Carter has done, and they are hoping to share his story in order to inspire other high school athletes who may have a challenge or a disability to overcome to do their best to overcome it. And the fact that Carter is able to get out there and play high school football at a high level, despite all the difficulties and challenges in his life, it really is an inspiring story, and it's icing on the cake for his Maroons tonight to open up the season with a win against Belfry.
For sure, and you know, I kind of got chills there as you were telling that too, Tanner. And you know, you could see that, just on that shot that we got of him on the bench, just his teammates kind of surrounding him, and you know, just you know, treating him as a normal part of the team, and that's got to mean a lot to him and his family. And that's also good for the other players to realize that, you know, there's people that are going through stuff that, especially like that, you need to help out in all walks of life. So that's a really good thing for his teammates. That's a really good thing, for his parents to see too, I'm sure. But what a awesome story that is. Out here playing football for a very, very good program.
I'm just saying. I don't think there's any team.
Belfry will punt it away, and this punt is blocked. The Maroons recover it in the end zone for the touchdown. That will trigger the running clock. I think it was Jaquale Brown who got a hand on it. Couldn't tell who made the recovery, but the Maroons strike again, this time on special teams.
It's a safety.
What a performance here, all the way across the board. Now the special teams getting involved again. They forced a fumble earlier. They got the block punt now. The defense, the offense, all the way around. What a performance.
Now, I think they may have signaled this a safety and not a touchdown. Belfry fell on it in its own end zone, so it will be a safety. Belfry will have to do the safety kick. But now Pulaski will line up for the extra point. I couldn't tell if they signaled touchdown. Well, they put 6 on the board. Yeah. So the extra point is up and good. So we were initially correct. It is a touchdown. And according to the rules, I believe that's supposed to be a running clock now, correct?
I think it is. Once the officials motion that to go, I think it's supposed to start. But, man, again, you're Pulaski County. If you're a Pulaski County fan, you weren't able to make the game, and you're out here now. You're witnessing some history, and Pulaski County putting a running clock. You can always say that time we put a running clock on Belfry, which is not something that a lot of teams in this state can say. My goodness.
Though the positive spin on this for Belfry could be that, this Pulaski County is a team that very well could win a state title. And if you're Belfry, this does not at all damage your aspirations to get back to the state championship. It's a long season. This game has no bearing on postseason seeding or your postseason destiny. You can use it as a learning experience and a catalyst for motivation the rest of the year. And you want to get your guys healthy. You want to get Dixon healthy, especially. So no reason to hang your head too bad after tonight if you're a Belfry Pirate fan.
She fell too early. She jumped out of her skid.
55-13. Here's the kickoff by Idlewind. And it in the face mask. Woolham mishandled it at first, but got it back and made something out of nothing out to about the 35-yard line, and we will get a running clock now. Still enough time for Belfry maybe to get a score on the board and save face a little bit here.
Yeah, you want something kind of to take away from this football game and not just, coming on the road and getting it handed to you. But at the same time, man, it's just, Coach Haywood's going to have a lot to go on film-wise to see what they did wrong. And you hit the nail on the head when you said that this team still has state championship aspirations. And, you got to play good teams like this to see what you're made of and to see what your weaknesses are. And I think Belfry's going to bounce back just fine. And, we'll find out here, I think, next week. So
in the Pike County Bowl against Covington Catholic.
I don't think I've ever been that way to catch a game, Tanner. So
never been up to Belfry?
I've never been. I've covered a couple games at University of Pikeville on that football field when Union played up there, but I've never been up there for a high school football game.
Well, you go to Pikeville and then you go about another 30 minutes north. Yep. It's a bit of a jaunt up there, but good folks there on Pond Creek. I always enjoy going up there and talking to some friends, and they basically play in a college football stadium. Cam Stadium is a spectacular facility, a great host site for the Pike County Bowl, and if you're a Belfry player, to get to play your home games in that stadium. And we're in a pretty nice stadium here at Pulaski County as well. The Maroons always very hospitable to us. Enjoyed talking to their fans and athletic director and support staff before kickoff tonight. Great
you always
atmosphere.
know when you walk up the stairs. I saw a coach, and he said he appreciated us being here. You always love that hospitality. But I told somebody earlier this is one of my favorite press boxes to call a game in, because it's just so easy, and the field is so clear. Like it's it's really nice to cover a game up here.
This score is accurate, folks.
55-13, Pulaski County leading Belfry as we are under 7 minutes to go now on a running clock. It'll be 4th down here for the Pirates and about 4 to go. They need to get out to the Pulaski County 40.5-yard line for a first down to keep this drive moving and maintain hopes of putting up another score before the break. And this is a moment where if you're Philip Haywood and the coaching staff, you really have your eye on how these players respond who are out on the field right now. Can they take it seriously and not just go through the motions? And they're going to come up short here on the handoff. It'll be a turnover on downs for the Pirates. And actually, I beg your pardon, I think they had the down marker incorrect down on the Belfry sideline. I think that was 3rd down, and now this will be 4th down.
Looks like you are correct. A little bit of confusion out there from both sides, though.
I think Belfry might have thought it was 4th down, too.
Okay, so I don't know that I've
So now it's 4th down.
just yet. Obviously, it's one game, but let me ask you this.
You know, you see these teams with a higher degree of regularity than I do here in the 12th region. And I use the term 12th region. Obviously, that's basketball. But, you know, the schools here in this area, Pulaski, Southwestern, Somerset. I think you'd throw maybe Wayne County and Rockcastle in there as well. But certainly the I-75 corridor, Corbin, Whitley County, North and South Laurel. There are some really talented players here in this region.
Williamsburg as well.
Williamsburg as well. They're in the Mountain top 10. I think they're ranked in the top 5 as the Pirates will pick up the first down here on a nice surge out to the 45-yard line. The Yellow Jackets, of course, they had all those great teams for years under Jerry Herron. Made it to the Class A title game one year. I covered that one. Came within a hair of beating Mayfield. Skylar Griffith. And quarterback for Williamsburg. And just a lot of really creative, fun offenses and talented players.
Yeah, Sidney Bowen down there at Williamsburg. I mean, he's going to be a player YMT is going to talk about a lot this season. And I hope people get out to see him. Got to see him play a little baseball as well. I mean, you know, you can go down and pick and choose your athletes. I mean, North Laurel's supposed to be a little better this year. I know they're playing Bell County tonight, I think. So that's a big game for the Jags.
Speaking of WYMT, don't forget you can catch the highlights of this game as well as all the games across Eastern Kentucky tonight after the 11 o'clock news on Sports Overtime. The Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime on WYMT and WYMT.com.
My buddy Gary Coffey just asked his boy.
Said it before on these broadcasts, but there's nothing better when I was a kid or even when I covered games as a college student to come home and, you know, relax on a Friday night and watch Sports Overtime, man. It's just it's a mountain tradition if you're an athlete in the mountains or if you love sports in the mountains. It's just it is a staple in the mountains and within communities, and I love that it's still going, still kicking, and I don't get back in time usually to watch it anymore when I'm on the road for these games, but I do catch some of the clips online, and I just always love the coverage that we get for these kids in the mountains.
I had the privilege of hosting Sports Overtime, co-hosting one year with our friend Josh McKitty. That was back in 2013 I think it was the 2013 to 14 season, and that was one of the coolest experiences of my life. It was before I was kind of calling most of the games of the week and go out and shoot highlights on Friday night, come back and co-host the show as there's a short run that time by Caden Woolham for Belfry. Pirates still with a couple of minutes with which to work, can punch it in one more time. You think of all the great alumni of Sports Overtime as well. Derek Forrest, who's in Cleveland now and does some work with the man who started it all in terms of originating Sports Overtime. Jay Crawford had that great run at ESPN after his run at WYMT. Lots of sports folks over the years having all kinds of success. John Lewis at WDRB in Louisville now. Of course, Brian Milam, our friend, probably did more in terms of longevity and building that program into what it was than anyone else. Now in Lexington, and we have a timeout on the field here called by the Belfry Pirates that will stop the running clock with $1:42 to go. 55-13. I tell you what, if you would have told a lot of people before tonight that this game would have ended 55-13, I believe they would have predicted the other way.
Yeah, I had some folks at school today asking me what I thought, and, I said I think it'll be a pretty good game, and I think, I think Pulaski County hopes that it's going to be a good game, and on the flip side of that, 55-13, this team was ready to play from the jump. They bounced back so well from the early mistakes that they had, and again, they turned the ball over on downs, and since then they have not looked back, and this Maroons team is poised for a great run this season. Of course, it's just the first game, so we'll see where they go from here. But, man, just a heck of a performance here tonight against the powerhouse of the mountains.
Nice run here from Austin Harlow, the freshman for the Pirates. The thing they do so effectively at Belfry that makes them a championship contender perennially is that you learn the Belfry system essentially in elementary school, and then you kind of perfect it in middle school. They just do a great job. They've synthesized and structured their whole football program from the cradle all the way up through senior year of high school. So by the time you get to be 9th grade, 10th grade, you already have the system ingrained in you, and you know what you're supposed to do, you know where you're supposed to be in position, and you really can't say enough about what a job Philip Haywood has done at Belfry. Things not going well for his Pirates tonight as we're under a minute to go in this one. And a bad snap, trying to pick it up and do something with it is Chris Phillips, and he runs out of bounds. Belfry might get one more playoff in this one.
You mentioned it, the youth programs for these elite programs. That's where it starts, getting the youth involved. And, I see, where I live in Barberville, I see Knox Central. They're trying to do that right now with leagues within their county. And, I see Clay County doing it. And, it's just they see successful programs like these Belfry Pirates. And, you try to mimic them.
That will be the final play of the game. It's a party in Pulaski. The Maroons put a running clock on Belfry and go on to defeat the Pirates 55-13 in the season opener here tonight. Pulaski moves to 1-0, and the Maroons also get their first ever win in 5 tries against the Belfry Pirates. Along with John North, this is Tanner Hesterberg. As they shake hands, we'll step aside and come back and bring the curtain down on this one here in the Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week on Heroes and Icons and WYMT.com.
Enjoy fall adventures in Harlan County with safe social distancing. Explore the Black Mountain Off-Road Adventure Park, fishing and boating at Martins Fork Lake, hiking and fishing at Kingdom Come State Park, and learn about our coal mining history at Portal 31's Underground Mine Tour. Enjoy a round of golf at Sleepy Hollow, the Harlan Country Club, or a nighttime round at the lighted Lynch Country Club, and maybe catch a sighting of one of our many beautiful black bears. Find more outdoor adventures at harlancountytourism.com.
Welcome to Toyota's National Sales Event.
Ooh, RAV4.
It's a great time to save on the 2021s while they last. Ooh, Venza. Toyota's got an exciting lineup to choose from.
Oh, Highlander, could you?
Oh, sure. You have to understand, it's the National Sales Event.
Get 2.49 financing plus $750 TFS finance cash on any new 21 Highlander, Highlander Hybrid, or gas-powered RAV4. Or lease a RAV4 for $209 a month.
Hey, that's my line.
Toyota, let's go places.
It takes a lot to keep a farm going. W.D. Bryant Outdoor Farm Solutions can be a helping hand. Whether you're feeding livestock, helping some get their start, tending the garden, working the fields, or updating equipment, whatever the need, W.D. Bryant is your farm and home destination. Serving southeastern Kentucky for over 90 years.
55-13, Pulaski County a winner tonight over the Belfry Pirates, thanks to a big effort from Drew Polston, who threw 6 touchdown passes. And I tell you what, partner, you couldn't ask for a better start to the season than what we saw tonight for Pulaski County.
You know, we talked about it from the jump. QB-driven system. He managed this game so well. He made the big plays. Kind of all broke loose when he made that kind of 30-yard scamper on his feet and then threw the touchdown pass right after that. He did not look back after that. They got him in rhythm very early with a couple of throws. And, again, he never looked back. Very impressed with that young man. I hope he can stay healthy for the Maroons.
We'll take a break, come back, and wrap this one up in the Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week.
Hey, Big Blue fans, Dave Baker here. You know, summertime can be the off season for basketball and football, but there's no off season when it comes to your health care. Have your doctor send your prescription to Total Pharmacy. The pharmacist's complete focus is on filling your prescriptions and explaining your medication. There's no off season for your health. Now, there are 5 locations to serve you: Pikeville, Belfry, Phelps, Martin, and Prestonsburg. Total Pharmacy Care. It's not just a name, it's a promise.
You're on the move every day. You're mobile, and so is Community Trust Bank. Now, you've got one-touch access to your accounts. No need to remember or update passwords. Make a deposit with a click, not a pen. No deposit slip and no line. And get that morning cup of joe without the hassle, without the wait. Community Trust Bank is dedicated to making your banking experience secure, fast, and easy. Don't wait. Go mobile with Community Trust Bank. Building communities built on trust.
Well, one of our design goals in this house was to be energy efficient. Spray foam was going to create the most efficient house possible. You know, without the spray foam being an integral part of that whole thing, you know, we wouldn't be able to get the energy efficiency that we've done here. When you look at the cost factor of fiberglass versus spray foam, it's really no question, because the energy savings that you're going to get, those will be paid back in a very short amount of time as compared to fiberglass.
A whole new way of buying vehicles is here with total coverage and great opportunities to lower your payment, pay as you can, save thousands on interest, and pay off your vehicle sooner. Let Thornhill change the way you buy your next vehicle. The best deals aren't in Pikeville. They're at the Thornhill Auto Outlet, Belfry.
Summer is here, and the deal on the iPhone 12 mini just got even hotter at Appalachian Wireless. The iPhone 12 mini comes with massive features and is the perfect pocket size. Best of all, Appalachian Wireless is offering the iPhone 12 mini for just $1 with a 2-year contract. Good things do come in small packages, and it's the iPhone 12 mini on the region's best network. But don't wait. This deal won't last long. We are you. We are Appalachian Wireless.
Attend the Community Trust Bank WYMT TV Pike County Bowl on Friday night, August 27th at Belfry High School's Cam Stadium. East Ridge takes on Phelps and Covington Catholic plays Belfry. On Saturday night, August 28th at Pikeville High School's WC Hambly Athletic Complex, Shelby Valley plays Pike Central and Bourbon County takes on Pikeville. Get your tickets now at all Pike County Community Trust Bank locations or at participating schools. Plan now for an action-packed weekend during the Community Trust Bank WYMT TV Pike County Bowl.
It's car shopping made easy. Thornhill Auto Outlet in Belfry, Kentucky, with total support when you buy and after you drive for quick and easy service repairs to keep you on the road to success. Easy to shop, easy to service, easy on your wallet. Thornhill Auto Outlet, the road to total savings starts here.
Pulaski County avenges its season-opening loss to Belfry a season ago. The Maroons also pick up their first-ever win over Belfry in 5 tries with a big 55-13 victory tonight. Pulaski now 1-0. Belfry falls to 0-1. Partner, one final thought before we get out of here tonight.
Excellent performance here for Pulaski County. Belfry's going to bounce back, and always a pleasure calling a game with Tanner.
Likewise, my friend. 55-13, the final score. We want to thank our fine production crew this evening, starting with our director, Dustin Pody-Turner, our crew chief and graphics operator, Jason Sandlin. Operating cameras tonight for us for the broadcast, Travis Sherman, Josh Turner, Pat Blevins, and Greg Taylor. Our man in the satellite truck, Dennis Hudson, and our guy back at WYMT Master Control, pulling all the levers, is Kevin C. Hill. For my partner, John North, this is Tanner Hesterberg saying thanks for watching the Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week. We'll see you next Friday night at 6 o'clock for the Pike County Bowl.